The Marcia Week Show. It's the Marcia Week Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. It's the Marcia Week Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. Talk truth, build roots, stories unfold. Mobilize change, mobilize is the mode, that's the MR code. Hey! We growing, we know it.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, boys and girls. You are watching the Marcia Week Show, and we are coming to you live today, July 13th, live from Barbados. This is a beautiful flag of Barbados, and you just heard the national anthem of Barbados. And tonight, guys, it is an amazing night. How are you feeling out there? Oh my goodness, after a show like last night, don't you get a sense of purpose? Don't you get a sense where you want to keep fighting? Anybody out there wants to keep fighting? Oh wow. Well, I tell you, we have a fighting night tonight. We have some warriors. Some warriors on tonight, and one of them is Dr. Gilberta St. And she is going to be answering your many questions. Some of you sent me questions. Some of you yourself, you are suffering after COVID, having had COVID. Some of you are going through what they call long COVID. Some of you have taken the vaccine and you believe you have symptoms, adverse effects as a result of the vaccine. Not that you believe that you have it. Some of you have been diagnosed with that. And so tonight we have Dr. St. is here with us, and she's going to answer some of your questions. We're really, really looking forward to that tonight. And then after she's finished, we're going to have Dr. Alleyne. Dr. Derek Alleyne, and you know he's a warrior as well. So tonight we are on a war path. Tonight we need everybody to go ahead and to share and to like, put it in your WhatsApp groups. Come on, everybody, let's get this information out. We can't keep it to ourselves. We've got to get this education out to everyone. All right. So I need you to go ahead and to share in your church WhatsApp groups, on your Facebook page. Share to everybody, share to your friends, because this is going to be great information tonight. I say to you, use up the comment section. We have 1 hour with Dr. Gilberta St. Rose tonight, and we want to get in as many questions as possible. I have some prepared questions. However, I know that you have some questions as well. So I will be checking the comment section. I will be checking my phone as well. So, the number 236-7000. You should know that number by now. Oh my goodness. We're going to have a really exciting night because we're going to learn tonight. Yeah, tonight is a learning night. Let me just apologize tonight that we do not have our regular health corner. We would have Maurice with us, right? But we won't have him with us tonight because we have Dr. St. Rose, and we won't have our legal corner either. No, there is no Corey Beckles tonight. All right, because we want to delve into this a little bit. They will join us next week. All right, Attorney Corey Beckles. He will join us next week. All right. Well, let me just welcome quickly Monica Ince and Teroni and Judith Jilks. Somebody said last time, Marcia, why do we have to call out everybody's name and welcome them? Because we're a family. We're family. Hey, Lucinda, Angela, what's wrong if I call out everybody's name? It's not everybody. It's just a few people. Lori, Bob, and I sing Lori's name. Lori, that project is coming together. We are working together to make it happen. We're going to push it again tonight. We're doing a lot of community projects. Sharon and Sherry Johnson. Hello. Valerie Granham, good night. Matthew B. Hey, Matthew B. Jacqueline Alleyne, how are you doing? I'm a big girl, Marcia Miller. Okay, Omar Gibson. Hi, Omar. Andrea Critchlow, Beverly Prescott. Yes, I'm a big girl. Good evening, Sandra Bruce. So, folks, I need you to go ahead and like and share. Let everybody know that we are on. We're on now. Before we have Dr. St. Rose joining us, and while you are liking and sharing, we want to talk a bit about Elevate. We want to talk about our community initiatives. Here in the Marcia Week Show, we educate, we mobilize, we motivate, and we agitate. Yes, and I don't know if there's another group who's had more marches in Barbados than this group of people. The Marcia Week Show and the loyal opposition, we've hit the road so many times agitating. We've gone all the way overseas to complain on this government. We Emma, and we are doing some Emma and some motivating right here in Barbados, because we are not just a people who who like to talk. We don't just like to talk, but we're people of action, and that's why we are doing Elevate Strong Families. Our vision is to see fathers fully engaged in the lives of their children, building strong families that transform communities and shape the future. That's what we're involved in. Strong fathers, strong families, strong communities. If you believe in that, come on, give me a thumbs up. If you believe that we're not a set of people who are just going to meet and talk about things, but we're a people of action, give me a thumbs up. And so we hosted our dinner with Dad, and that was the day before Father's Day. Yes, the day before Father's Day, dinner with Dad was a special evening of conversation, connection, with father and child, right? Thank you. I'm a big girl. And then we this weekend on Sunday, it's out almost 1 month later. We are having the FIFA World Cup finals with Dad. More than football, building families. Yes, and it's a free event. Food, fun, fellowship. We'll have a large screen and you can come and watch it for free on the large screen. We're going to have a great family atmosphere there. We have our food. We have a great menu lined up. Yes. And it starts at 1 o'clock. If you are a dad and you want to be there with your children or one child, right? Or your children might not be here. You want to be there as a father. Message us. Give us a call. Give us a WhatsApp call or message us on WhatsApp 236-7000. 236-7000. Yes, go ahead and message us and let us know that you want to attend. Okay, let us know that you want to attend. Okay, it is going to be an amazing event, lots of excitement, and you're going to hear lots of cheering, and you know how it is when lots of men get together. Yeah. Okay, so that is what is happening. And then later in the year, we're going to have back to school with Dad. And that's going to be a bit more instructional and lots of fun too, but it's going to be a lot of instruction happening, practical sessions and conversations to equip fathers and students. Yes, for a successful school year. And while I'm here talking about fathers, it's just in the last couple of days we had two of our young men who they were killed. And while that is happening on one side, we're doing this on another side. And that's why this is so powerful. And this is why we have to do this as a family. We are fighting. This in itself is agitation. This in itself is warfare. We're fighting and we're claiming back our men. Come on. Use up the comment section. Come on. Thumbs up if we need to be fighting for the men of our society. That's what we're doing. We're fighting for the men. Christmas with Dad. And I know somebody said to me today, why not the girls? Why not? No. We focus on the men for a change. Christmas with not mom, Dad. With Dad. Back to school with Dad. FIFA Cup World Cup Finals with Dad. Yes, it is warfare. It's agitation. It's motivation. It's mobilization for the men of this country. That's what it's all about. If you're a man up there, push up your chest. Big up yourself. Yes, that's right. Yes, Beverly. Yes. It is time. We are tired of hearing the statistics, the negative statistics. How many died and how many criminals they are and how many not taking care of their children and all of that. We are going to see the opposite on display on Sunday. And we're going to celebrate it. And we're pushing back against all the forces that are saying, don't do this event. Don't do it. There's some forces that are trying to come against us, But we are saying that they have lost. It is going to happen. We're doing it with Dad. Fathers, men, boys. There you go. Yes. And don't call and tell me about what about the women. Women, we love to do that too much. Oh, what about the women? Listen, what about the women? Don't you see all that is happening for the women? The women, they've gone ahead and they're moving ahead. They're moving ahead, and we're not going to let the devil take our men and take our boys. Yes? So that's what this is all about, is a fight. So with that said, we're going to need your support. Last night I told you we needed 10 chickens. Didn't I tell you we needed 10 chickens? Family, loyal opposition, the Marcia Week Show. See, I told you, I said last night we needed 10 chickens. Can anybody tell me how many chickens we've gotten so far for this event? Who can tell me how many chickens we've gotten? Who can take a guess how many chickens we've got so far? The first person to let me see who can guess. Quickly, comments. Jacqueline said we got 15. Somebody said we got 20 today. Well, guys, we got 10 chickens. We got 10 chickens. Come on. This is, listen, man. Don't be dead on me tonight. Don't go dead on me tonight. 10 chickens. We got 10 chickens. I love you, my Bajan people. You're so positive. So, but everybody say I get 20 chickens and 15 chickens, you know, because Bajans are so kind and so giving. And we, you know, I tell you, we can do great things. And I know it's just chickens. When I was getting ready, I said, you're all gonna laugh. I said, Marcia, it's just chickens. But you know, I'm thinking about these 10 chickens, and I'm like, you know what? We could transform Barbados, you know. What do you think? One chicken at a time. Listen, the resources are there to transform this country, and the resources are in us. It's in our house. Remember I told you, you don't need to look farther than your home for all of these things. 8 packs of macaroni for mac and cheese, for macaroni pie. Macaroni pie, that's what you call it, macaroni pie. Blocks of cheese, we're going to need some blocks of cheese. We need some hot dogs and hot dog buns. We need bags of fries. We need cooking oil, soft drinks. You know, the kids love to drink. Juice and water, disposable cups, takeaway containers, plastic cutlery, napkins. We need lettuce and tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, salad dressing, or any monetary contribution toward the event. I thank you for those who gave some monetary contribution today. I thank you for those who gave monetary contribution, but we're going to still need some more because we have some technical things. Remember, we still have the you know, we had to get a box. We had to get a you know, a cable company to come in to put in a dish and all of that in order to, you know that we're not going to do anything substandard. Yes, so we have to get a dish put in, you know, a box for the TV so that the signal is clear. We're not going to be doing it shortchanging the people. That's not excellence. So we need the support. You know, it's more than just talk. We're going to go, you need to go into our cupboards and take stuff from the cupboard and say, listen, we want to give this towards restoring our men. We are for family, and we want to get, I'm going to go in and take something from the cupboard, and I'm going to restore, I'm going to do something for the men, right? And as you know, those of you who are coming for the Walk Holy concert, listen, you when you're finished watching the football, some people will be happy and some people will be sad, depending on which team you're cheering for. Anybody out there, France, who are the France fans who think that France and Argentina, that they're going to make it to the finals? How many of you believe that those are the two teams in the finals? I think so. Anybody out there agree with me? Well, when you finish watching the World Cup finals, then on the big screens, then we're gonna have pure soca and social commentary. Listen, we're having fun, you all. And where you gonna go and get all of these artists? You're talking about even you have blood there. You have the man that came second last year. You have the man that came third last year. That's the announcer. You have a 3-time or 4-time monarch in Kidside, and he's gonna be up there this year. You have Juliana. You have Lady Virtue. You have Richard Antonio. You have James Leacock. You have the Apache that have one of the biggest songs this year. Oh, come on. You have a man like Colin Spencer. You can't afford to miss this man. You can't afford to miss the Walk Holy concert. You have to come out for it. Yeah. So come out. And even if you don't come in the beginning to watch the game, come out for the Walk Holy concert. All right. So that is also on Sunday. Right. And it's going to start music chumping up right after you hear goal, and you know who won, and the celebration, pam, 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 pam. You're going to see blood come on out, and the singing is going to, Kidside. Yeah, Kidside song is really good. You're going to hear him coming out. Okay. So you have to be out for that. Now, in the spirit of community and helping our community, yes, Sharon, we're going to bake the wedges. We're going to bake the chips. I was told that by the caterer that the chips are going to be baked. Are you happy with that? Well, folks, we are going to go there in New Orleans, and we are going to go to Tiger's house. Last night we talked about the elderly. Our show was about the elderly, and we showed how the state is involved in the abuse of the elderly, elder abuse by the government of this country. We showed you that. However, there's some elder abuse that is happening in our communities. It's not just the government. The government needs to lead by example. The government needs to lead by example, and that's why we go hard on them. But we cannot leave ourselves out of this. We are part of this solution, and therefore we are descending upon Tiger with love. This is Tony the Tiger, and Dave is just going to play the video without any audio. Yes, as I ask for Barbadians to come, let's rally around Tony the Tiger. Yes, this is one of our seniors, and he needs our help. And we are going to go down there and to New Orleans. He said hi. He's funny. We're going to go down, and we've someone on the chat from this show, they have already rented a skip. The skip is rented to be there on July 24th, which is a Friday. All right. July 24th is a Friday. Get in my calendar to make sure of what I'm saying. And on the Saturday, the 25th, it's when the real work is going to start down there. And we're going to clean out this house. And he wants to help. He says MPs after MPs have come and said that they're going to help him. Nobody's helped him. We're going to cut the yard. We're going to throw out the stuff out of the house that, we're going to put in some floorboards so that he doesn't fall in certain areas. We're going to block off that he doesn't go over there. We're going to set down some bait. We're going to get the place as clean as we can, put a new bed inside for this senior, for this elder. He's an elder. And because a lot of our elders are suffering. That's another one there in St. George that's suffering. And we're going to do what we can do. And it doesn't take the government off the hook. The government needs to lead by example. But as citizens, we live among the elderly. We live among the elderly, and there's no reason that they should be living like this. And people say, oh, but Marcia, you have people poor in Jamaica, your country. This is where I live. Do you realize that? This is where I live. And I have lived here longer than I've lived in Jamaica. So don't stop telling me that nonsense. All right. I am not going to live here and go and film somebody's house like this. And he asks for help and I don't do anything to help. And so I'm joining with everybody else. I'm joining with people in the community. The lady who did this is for who got the skip is I met her in the community. There's a gentleman in the community that is going to stay by while we work on his on this house, and let's do it together. I'm excited for Tony. I'm excited. Mr. Maurice Gaskin, our environmentalist, he's going to be with us and he's going to give us the advice that we need and how to clean up and clear up the place and get it ready. Yes, and so on. I received a message from a carpenter last night whom I've now added to our chat. There's a carpenter, and we have a chat for Tony the Tiger. And those who are working, not for people. I don't want you just in there because you're making comments. These are people who are coming with skills and coming with energy and say, Marcia, I'm going to bring my gloves and I'm going to work. I'm wearing my long sleeve shirt and I'm putting on my boots and I'm going in there and I'm going to work. I will be down there working. I'm going to have on my hat, my gloves, a long sleeve shirt. I'm going to have on a long pants and my water boots. And I'm going inside there and my mask. And I'm going inside there to help Tony the Tiger. How many of you are going to come with me? Yes, Mavis, he really needs help. Some of you have things at home that can help Tony. Again, we don't listen. We got people out there have a beds you're throwing away. We want a twin bed. If it old and smelly, we don't want it. You know that because we're trying to make his life better. All right, right? We already have sheets. Thank you, Jackie. Again, Jacqueline said she's in, and I know she's going to be in because she goes with me to St. Philip to do the teaching. Yeah. And we're going to need cleaning supplies. Cleaning. Some of you might not be physically able to go, but you can give us some cleaning supplies, some bleach and disinfectant and anything else that we need to clean, and brooms and mops and all that we need. I know you can. And we will do this. I'm telling you, as Barbadians, we'll do this. We have somebody who's going to go and clean the outside, going to cut the grass and cut the trees. They've already told us that we can get it done. So we've got a gardener who's called us, who has all the equipment already. So we are all set and ready to go. And that's going to be on Saturday, July 25th. So get ready. We're going to keep talking about it. Yeah. And listen, we're not somebody asking about the MP for the area. We're not talking about politics here. I don't care about any MPs. Do you understand? Listen, it's time we get up and get something done for us. I don't want to see we don't care about no MPs. They don't need to come. We need electrical work done as well. Yes, and a mason. You said a mason too, Annette? We need if you're an electrician, we need you there. Bring your tools and bring some extra supplies and come, all right? We'll give you more information as we go along. But we are not going to just sit here and talk. That's what we're not going to. We are going to stand up against elder abuse and in our own homes and in our communities. And while we keep the government accountable as it relates to that. Well, that's it for elevating the community. Well, tonight, folks, we told you we have a doctor with us tonight. And this doctor is a doctor who in COVID stood with the people. This doctor, Dr. Gilberta St. You know, she stood with the people. She stood with the people, and I tell you, she's a warrior. Our guest tonight, Dr. Gilberta St. a medical doctor from St. Lucia, who has been serving patients for more than 30 years as a general practitioner, herbalist, and a dermatologist. Throughout her career, Dr. St. has championed an integrated approach to healthcare, combining conventional medicine with traditional and herbal therapies. She has held leadership positions in several regional and herbal medicine organizations, including serving as president of the Caribbean Association for Plant Science, Industry, Commerce, and Use in Medicine, Capsicum. She's also chief executive of Eden Herbs and has served on several professional medical and health councils throughout the Caribbean region. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. St. became well known and at times controversial. She was a controversial voice for advocating treatment approaches that differed from the guidance issued by public health authorities, even the WHO. This woman defied them. Her decision to prescribe ivermectin for some COVID-19 patients led to disciplinary action by the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Council, which concluded that her prescribing practices did not align with the Ministry of Health's guidance at the time. Dr. St. has consistently maintained that her actions were motivated by her commitment to helping patients during an unprecedented public health emergency. Tonight, Loyal Opposition, the Marcia Week Show, that's the caliber of doctor that we have with us, who defied the authorities to take care of her patients. But we're not here to relive the debates of the pandemic. We're here because many people continue to ask questions about persistent health challenges following COVID-19 infection. And some also believe they have experienced health problems after COVID-19 vaccination. That's why we're here tonight. I have heard your calls. I've seen your messages. Dr. St. will share her clinical experience, discuss the role she believes natural and herbal medicine can play alongside conventional care, and answer your questions. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gilberta St. to the Marcia Weeks Show. And I am going to ask you guys to please like and share. She is coming in right now. Welcome, Dr. Gilberta St. Welcome. Yes, we're not hearing you at all. You're unmuted, but we weren't hearing you. Yes, we're not hearing you. All right, so we're going to, it's live TV, guys, and we're just having this little technical issue here, but still not hearing her. So what we're going to do, let's see. In the meantime, guys, I'm going to ask you to like and share.
Well, the preacher tell me, teacher tell me, everybody used to tell me that anytime you want a song, impress it. And my mother tell me, Father tell me, even my grandmother tell me, you got to learn to be expressive. Anytime you want to show your potential, proper English and national language is essential. Check out to the land, and you could search all over. Nobody could talk like me. And when you come and ask she about crime in this country, she say we need stronger communities. And when you come and ask she about carry community, she say you're going Guyana with Sheffer ID. Gambler get vexed, gambler start to ball. Them kidnap a man, they could do that to Winston Hall. Just like Ninja Man, me said they had to have a warrant in hand, so it was no kidnapping at all. And you gonna talk like me, speak like me, show the world you coulda do it like she. Talk like me, speak like me, show the world you coulda do it like she. And you gotta show them how you could run a country. I heard Tom Adams, Reefs and John, Radford and David Thompson talking politics back in the day. I remember Billy, remember Sudie P, Eric Seeley and Don Blackman calling big words got people amazed. I remember Tudor with his Oxford accent, Dean Harry Pitchlow on the radio so eloquent. But that was the past, but now today and future, the queen of speeches is now me. And when you come and ask she about prices, about her killing me, she say she got to give me compensation. And when you come and tell she we need sporting facilities, she say we soon gonna get a new stadium. And they say she is the savior of Barbados. Here does perform miracles just like Jesus, cause she got the head and she got the ability, cause she raised from the dead. Chris and Lashley, talk like me, speak like me, show the world you coulda do it like she. Talk like me, speak like me, I don't feel that she and Tamla agree, but me I can show them how you could run a country. People bawling, people crawling, complaining that me are borrowing millions from agencies right and left. People grumbling, some mumbling, some even finger pointing. Look, she gone back to the...
Yes, that's Kid Sight, and Kid Sight is going to be at the Walk Holy concert. Have you heard him live yet since the season? Anybody out there have heard him live since the season? Yes. Okay. Well, we are. Dr. St. Rose is getting set up again. I can see her. Don't worry. Don't worry. She's coming. Don't worry. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know a lot of you've been waiting on this. It is going to happen tonight. Yes. So I know she's trying to set that phone properly, which she's not allowed to use her phone. And so she's going to indicate to me when she is ready. And when she comes, we are hitting the road and we are ready. We are ready. Have you been sharing? Yes. Are you ready, Dr. St. Rose? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Yes, she's ready. I told you she's coming back.
Yes. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you now. We're hearing you now.
Yes.
And we're seeing you as well. If you're with somebody and they could turn on a little more light for you, would be great. If you could get a little more light, but if not, we are good to go. We're going to go.
Okay, excellent. Okay.
Yes,
well, good night. It's so wonderful to be on your show, Marcia. Thanks for keeping the fire burning. That's what we need to do, keep the fire burning, because, we're in times when we need fire. As we share love, we have compassion, we share the knowledge, we need some fire in it. So
Yes,
thanks for keeping the fire burning.
yes,
Is that
yes,
better now? We got some light here.
yes, yes, and you're looking quite good. You're looking quite good. Yes. Well, we're gonna hit the ground running, right? And one of the first question, well, the first question that I want to ask you is, some people believe that their health changed after receiving a COVID-19 vaccine. Have you seen those patients, kinds of patients in St. Lucia? And how do you approach patients who present with those concerns?
Oh, for sure. Persons say, you get it a lot, that after I took that shot, I've not been the same again. So I usually ask persons as part of my consultation, have you had the COVID injection? And have you had any side effects at the time of taking it? And some will say yes. And some might continue and say that since they've taken that shot, they've not been the same. And these are sentiments that have been shared, with their friends and family, and then the watering holes here and there. So it's a common phenomena that
Yes,
they got this effect after the COVID shots.
yes. And what kind of complications or symptoms are they presenting?
Yeah, usually lack of energy. The energy seems to be affected. And, scientifically, we know that, this COVID injection, the spike protein affects the mitochondria, which is that part that really is responsible for getting oxygen to the tissues. So this spike protein affects that aspect of, the ATP and getting the oxygen to the tissues. So the lack of energy. So they're not doing more than usual. They're resting and doing everything as per usual. But the energy and the lethargy is part of what they complain of. And of course, the brain fog. The brain too has suffered from this lack of adequate oxygen. So brain fog is one of the symptoms that I get a lot of.
From the yes, yes. But how can someone tell whether their symptoms are related to COVID-19? Because some of these symptoms that you're describing here, they could be related to so many other things. How do you know that the symptoms are related to COVID-19, the vaccine, or something completely unrelated?
Yeah, so you're very correct there. You're very correct because, there are tired people and people who have memory loss and brain fog. We have a lot of these patients. But there's something called correlation and association. So if you've done something, you've been well, and a lot of these people, they've been well and functioning very adequately. And having taken the COVID injection, they have seen the difference. So this right away is an associated factor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's true you have to look at the other causes, but especially for our very well folks who haven't taken the injection, have started feeling that way, there's definitely that correlation and association which cannot be, hidden.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Are you seeing more people with persistent symptoms of either COVID-19, having had COVID-19, or having taken the vaccine than you were 2 or 3 years ago? Are you seeing more people now with those symptoms, you think?
Well, not too many more, but those who have suffered, some have suffered and not done anything about it. So some are, eventually coming for treatment. And some have their effect delayed, not so much the lethargy and brain fog, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing lots more cancers. And
You
we've
see
seen the
cancers?
turbo cancers.
What you call them, turbo cancers? Can you explain for me, please?
Yeah, so turbo cancers says turbo because it comes up so suddenly and it moves from one stage to the other. We have stage 1, 2, 3, 4. So by the time they present, and within months, they have moved to stage 3 and 4. So it's very fast growing cancers that, we have been seeing post-COVID injection.
Is this something, because you've been practicing over 30 years, and someone listening might say, "What, I mean, haven't there been terrible cancers before? Isn't that a normal thing? Is that a normal thing, Dr. St. Rose, that you've seen in your practice?"
Well, we have the oncologists, the oncologists who have been seeing cancer patients for years are also talking of this phenomena. So it's not just in my practice. Well, they come in my practice because normally I don't see too many cancer patients, but now that they know that ivermectin is very effective against cancer, I see cancer patients. And from the history, I get the fact that it has moved pretty quickly. So the important thing is that even the oncologists who have been seeing cancer patients pre-COVID, have been finding a greater incidence. And that's not just in St. Lucia in the Caribbean, but internationally, we have these reports because I'm very associated and working with World Council for Health, and our clinicians and our scientists are reporting this phenomena of increase in cancers and increase in deaths. So now it is quite acceptable to speak of sudden death. Sudden death was something that was reserved for the babies, sudden infant death, the SID.
Yeah.
But now it seems to be acceptable that adults die suddenly. And you see it a lot even in the sports environment, the very healthy athletes, they're just dying, just in the normal line of play. So there's also that sudden adult death, which, persons talk about in private quarters, but needs to be brought to the attention of the authorities and have them account for what is the cause of it.
Yes. Somebody is asking, so where do we find the data on this? And what you're talking about is not just people who've taken the COVID-19 vaccine, it's people who have had COVID. Are you seeing similar symptoms in those two groups?
Well, those who have taken the vaccine have a greater degree of symptoms. So those who have had the infection can have, the effects, but not as badly as those who have taken the COVID injection. And in terms of the data, if you look up worldcouncilforhealth.org, worldcouncilforhealth.org.
Okay, let me write that down. World Council for Health.
For health.
Yes.
.org. Yes. So look in there. We have lots and lots of literature. We have the reports from our scientists. We have, a lot of data based on the research and collection of evidence that has been put together. And you can look through the websites. There's so much work we've done over the years. So World Council for Health was actually formed in May 2021 at the time where these COVID injections came out as being the savior for, the COVID pandemic that was orchestrated. So we formed that group in May 2021 in Bath, UK, at the time where, doctors were not allowed to be doctors. They were given protocols to follow. And if you did not follow this protocol, Marcia, what happened to some of us who were not ready to follow the protocol. So, it's happened. And then we got together, said we must do something about it. And in fact, we have done something about it. And I'm very proud of my colleagues who have got together, and formed World Council for Health. Dr. Tess Laurie, she actually worked with World Health Organization for 10 years as a consultant. And when this pandemic emerged, she realized that, the World Health Organization was definitely not on the side of the people. And so, she actually was the main one that orchestrated the start of the World Council for Health. And we're very, very proud of her, Dr. Tess Laurie, for her resilience, her strength, and her commitment. And we have quite a great team at the World Council for Health, working very, very hard, putting data together and spreading the true science. Because now, Marcia, when somebody say follow the science, you have to be very, very careful what science you follow.
What science,
Because there is science that is untruth. And even now, persons who want to speak the truth, well, we saw it with the doctors who were not allowed to practice, correct medicine. But now there's the whole concept of disinformation and the fact that you can be jailed if you spread truth.
Yes.
So,
yes.
yes.
But and I'm seeing here, this is a site here for those of you who want to do some more research on this. This is a site with doctors. These are professionals, and they have been, like Dr. Gilberta is part of this council, and she's been in practice for over 30 years. Okay, I'm watching the comment section to see if you have any questions. Dr. Rose, are you seeing any increase in strokes? You talk about cancer, but stroke in I forgot the other one I wanted to ask about, mainly stroke. We're seeing a lot of that. Well, I'm a lay person. I'm just talking about the people around me. I don't have the data. It's just I know of my, people around me. Almost every other person, you hear somebody had a stroke, somebody had a mild stroke, somebody had a stroke. Are you seeing that, an increase of that in your practice? And would you relate that increase to COVID-19, either the injection or, to people who've contracted COVID-19?
Yes, so definitely, Marcia, we've seen a lot of strokes, the cardio or cerebrovascular accidents, which are clots. And one of the things the spike protein causes is coagulation problems. So it's causing increase in coagulation in the body and is part of what is the cause of the strokes and DVTs and pulmonary embolism. And there is definitely an increase, and we have seen that increase post-COVID injection.
Blood clots.
Blood clots for sure. The blood clots, so they get strokes, they get heart attacks, they get deep vein thrombosis, which is the clots in the legs, and you also can get it in the lungs, which is pulmonary embolism.
Yes. Okay. Somebody's asking about what about myocarditis and pericarditis?
Absolutely. So
what are those? Those sound like some big, for some people, I have an idea, but there are people who they don't know what those. What do you mean? Is that a meal?
So pericarditis, all the itis are usually caused by infections or inflammation. In this case, it's inflammation. So you have inflammation in the muscles of the heart, and you have inflammation in the lining, the pericardium of the heart. And there has been a very great incidence, and also in younger people. Dr. Peter McCulloch, who you know of, and I understand he might be visiting you all in Barbados. He's a cardiologist.
Yes.
And he has been really seeing that great incidence in myocarditis, pericarditis, and in younger folks as well.
In younger, and somebody's asking about polio-like polio-like effects. Do you remember? I remember when I was a child, you used to get the polio vaccine, but they're saying that someone is asking about if it's right now. Have you seen increase in polio-like symptoms?
Well, not as bad as polio, but it definitely, the spike protein from the COVID injection affects the neurological system as well. So in my practice, I see a lot of people with like numbness in the feet, loss of sensation, and it does affect the nerves. So affecting the nerves is part of what I have been seeing with the persons adversely affected by the COVID injection and even
Injection.
post-infection, yes.
Yes, yes, and our post-COVID infection. So we're not just talking about the COVID injection, but in post-COVID infection. Some in the I see in the US and other places they're calling it long COVID. Are there any, before we move on from these symptoms, anything else that is popping up in your practice that was not there pre-COVID, and you want to talk to us about it?
Oh, yeah. So skin. Well, I'm a dermatologist, and the sort of range of skin problems I'm seeing is even more. So I'm seeing things, well, increase in like shingles. So
Oh,
persons know shingles, which is herpes zoster. And of course, this is caused by a virus. And persons who have had chickenpox in the past, they can get shingles later on in life. But I've been seeing an increase in shingles, which is the herpes zoster. And persons could be aware of it. You get a lot of pain in a particular segment, nerve section segment, and a rash comes up after. And if it's not treated early enough, you can have chronic pain in that area, neurological type, really severe pain. So skin infections, the herpes zoster, and also the other dermatosis. So you have the fungal infections can flare up because what has happened with the spike protein? It has compromised the immune system. It has compromised the immune system. So because of that, you have what we call the opportunistic infections. So things that probably would not affect persons, they are going to get manifested just because the immune system is
right.
not strong enough to
Okay.
counteract it. Yes.
So we're dealing with your am I right in understanding that the COVID, whether it's the infection or the injection, has impacted the immune system of individuals?
In particular, the infection, in particular, the injection in
Yeah.
this instance. The injection is even worse on the immune system because with an infection, the body will do its fights. But with this injection, this spike protein has just come in there and just upset the whole interior. So, in terms of affecting the immune system, the injection has had more severe adverse effects.
Yes. But there are people who said, well, I took it, people in my family took it, and nobody is sick. It hasn't impacted anybody. We have none of these symptoms that you're talking about. What's the difference, doctor,
The
between?
difference here, the difference could be a few things. Well, could be the state of health. If you're in a good state of health and you get, this onslaught or this injection, then your body is better able to deal with it.
Mhm.
So it depends on your state of health at the time. Having said so, Marcia, there are persons who were given what is not really the COVID injection. There are some that got what we call placebos. Some of them did not get the real thing. They could have got saline water. And another thing that our researchers have shown is that the batches of COVID injections have been different. So if you get it from the top of the barrel or bottom of the barrel, middle of the barrel, the concentration and the effect could be different. And that correlates with the fact that these COVID injections were made so quickly. The manufacturing standards and the whole calibration of dosages was not done like normally would have been done. So these are factors that we have noticed that could be the reason why some persons got the injection or did not get the real injection, and hence what effects they got from it.
Yes. How about before we get into what we can do, those people who are suffering one way or the other, let's talk about people who have had COVID. There's some people who've had COVID 2, 3 times. What impact does that have on the body, doctor?
Yes, well, here again, Marcia, we must always remember that this COVID infection is just another virus. You know, we have flu viruses all the time. This one was special in that it was manufactured, it was a biological weapon put together for a specific purpose. In fact, I speak of a good marketing strategy that, you know, these military complex, big pharma undertook in terms of being ready to cause disease so they have a market to treat. Because autoimmune disease is one of the things that comes out of taking this COVID injection, and, you know, all the various inflammatory diseases, and we spoke of the cancer. So all these diseases are, you know, made to occur so that big pharma has a bigger market to treat as the years go by.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, you talk about inflammation, you talk about weakened immune system. And so we want to turn the conversation. And those of you who are, if you're just watching, this is Dr. St. Rose, and she's been a general practitioner, a dermatologist, a herbalist, and she's been practicing for over 30 years. And she's also part of the World Council for Health, and has been just an advocate for patients trying other medications, for especially during COVID. She really stood up for her patients, and we want to really commend her for that. So we want to go into now. We want to talk about treatment and recovery. And we started the conversation of this evening talking about fatigue, brain fog, shortness of breath, and some of these can be associated with long COVID, people who have had infected by COVID, and those who also had the COVID vaccine. So what advice would you give to someone suffering from fatigue, brain fog, shortness of breath, or any other symptoms that they feel simply won't go away?
Yeah, well, with the right treatment, it can and it will. And even as we speak, I am so happy that I have linked up with Zymonetics, the CEO and her team, Tesla Latouche out of Canada. And we will be also looking at various technologies that will help in this personalized medical approach to illness. Because, Marcia, each person has to be evaluated on the basis of where they were, where they are now, and the capability of what they can adjust to make their condition, back to normal. So it's all personalized. So we have technologies that can help, but for us, that don't have all of the technologies yet, we have to look at going back to the basics.
Yes.
Now, I must say, I commend you on, you were talking about Father's Day celebration and FIFA and good time you're going to have. Very good, bigging up the men and getting people together. And then I saw your menu, the things that you all will be having.
Why didn't I think that you're going to tell? I said, bet you she's going to say something about this menu.
So you should have put a different menu for that occasion, because I see all your macaroni and cheese and your hot dogs. It's not good for our people. I know they love it, but we must let them know and show them what is better. And that's why I always big up Rastafari. Rastafari has been at it for years and years, telling us how to eat. Ital.
I tell.
Ital can taste good, but we have to eat healthy. You are what you eat. So bottom line, there's no shortcut. You can't put junk in your system and be battling with illness. You have to get the eating right. And I know it has to be tasty, and big up the roster, the vegetarians, the vegans. Let's get the eating right, Marcia. Show the people that ITIL and the vegetarian food can taste good. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
promise. Let's promise to big up, ITIL and good eating, because that's the basic.
That is the basic. You're so correct. And I when I was saying it, I said, I think she's gonna say something on this. so 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 then what role can nutrition, because somebody listening could be saying, but I'm really sick, I've not been feeling myself, and here she's talking about nutrition. So let's talk about the role that nutrition, herbal medicine, supplements, and lifestyle changes can play in recovery for anybody who's listening. Can we
Yeah,
talk about that a bit?
yeah, and persons know it. Knowing it and doing it, I know it's not so easy because you go down the street and you don't get the ital and the good food easily. The fast foods are not healthy. So, most people know what a good, nutritious diet is, and they know what is junk. But of course, they're being affected by the advertisements and the convenience and the availability. So, this is something we have to constantly battle, not just for ourselves, but for our children, because we're coming up with a new generation of persons who will be polluted because getting the eating right is important. Detoxing the system is important. Hence, in Lucia, we have the concept of cooling, which is getting rid of waste from the body. Detoxification, detoxifying. Get the waste from the body. Because even now, all the scientists are telling you that the fundamental and foundational cause of disease is inflammation. And
Hmm.
what causes inflammation? What causes inflammation? The bad food, the pollution in the atmosphere, and even what we think is good food. I talk all the time of what the farmers bring to our table and speak to the Ministry of Agriculture that, try and have it organic for our people, keep away from the pesticides, herbicides. Because imagine, Marcia, you put in poison in food and you're giving it to people and they're going to get sick. And there you're trying to you cure them. So the food is important. The soil, how you grow it. So let's get that common denominator there. And
Yes.
then get to the other things of, adequate water intake, because even all the folks with the coagulation problem, that can be minimized probably if they keep well hydrated, because us here in the tropics, you can sweat a lot and be dehydrated. So
We're
dehydration,
talking about those people who are complaining about blood clots.
yeah, so hydration will help. I know they have the spike protein in the system, they have the coagulation disorders, but there are too many dehydrated people around. So they have to drink more water. Simple thing. And people tell you, I don't like water. Well, you just have to drink water or get enough water from some of the source and get the electrolytes right. Because when it's very hot, it's just not water. You need to get a little pinch of sugar, a little pinch of salt in it, get the electrolytes. And I'm happy to see our people drinking all this coconut water. It's just that sometimes it might have too much potassium for those who have a kidney that's not working as well. But definitely hydration. So that's the second thing. Then we're looking at rest, have adequate rest. Everybody knows that. Everybody's stressed, stressed and not getting enough rest. So for a body to heal, it needs to get adequate rest. This is when the body will get rid of the damaged cells. And this is when you will be growing new cells and getting yourself rejuvenated. So rest is important. And stress is important because there's something called eustress. We need stress, otherwise we sit on the couch and do nothing. But you don't want distress. So you have to balance your stress. You have to keep going, but you have to, have it balanced. So don't have it, distress and have too much cortisol circulating in your system, because that too can affect the cardiovascular system and be the cause of high blood pressure and strokes. And of course, good old exercise, the couch potatoes. Now, these are basic things, but we always have to go back to the basics, because the basics and discipline on the basics is what is just the most important thing to do.
Yeah. And what you're saying it's basic. It's what we already know. It is what we eat, and we know when it's bad. What we eat, the exercise, walking, and that's why I love you. I love your approach. It is natural. And it makes sense to me. You talk about inflammation and how to deal with that, in the body. And I think that natural approach is so important. Are there any herbs or any kind of teas, anything naturally around us, apart from, yes, the food is important, the exercise important, don't be a couch potato, but what kind of teas that we can take to deal with some of these symptoms, the brain fog and the blood clots and all of these issues that we're having in the body as a result?
Absolutely. So in detoxing, well, if you look on my website, edenherbs.com, you will see the detoxifying that is necessary. And in it, we have the herbs for, first of all, the colon. The colon is a reservoir for waste. We have 32 feet of colon, and if it's full of SHI, it's very bad for the body, because you get it reabsorbed. So you have to have a clean colon, have some good bowel movements, and we do a colon cleanse. It's one of our best sellers for getting a clean colon, and then getting the balance of the bacteria in your colon. I use a lot of the spirulina as a prebiotic. And
spirulina,
it also...
That's a bush.
It's actually a seaweed.
A seaweed.
The seaweed, spirulina. It's a seaweed. I get the powder and put it in capsules. So taking that twice a day, it's a way of keeping a clean colon with a good balance of bacteria. So that's spirulina. Spirulina and a colon cleanse have a good colon. And then I have the Tisane or Purifying Tonic. It's the same product, Tisane or Purifying Tonic. The same product. In it I have 9 herbs, each of them to target various parts of the body. We did a lot of research in our TRAMEL, Traditional Medicines of the Island Project, which is about 42 years old. And we've been researching the Caribbean herbs in the French and Spanish and English islands. And I use the data out of the research from the labs and the various universities to put together our Eden Herbs products. And you have a very good detox, I must say. I've done it and have it out since 1996 with the 9 herbs. So you have good old Cerasee. You all know Cerasee. It will help.
Yes, Cerasee, yeah.
Cerasee, very good. Bitter, but good for you. We have the Verven for helping the nerves and clearing what they say, bad blood. We have the broadleaf thyme, Goditer, some people call it the oreganon, but it's the broadleaf thyme, very good for the respiratory system, and it also helps to get the digestive system to function better. Then we have the leaf of life, wonder of the world, very good herb for the kidney, the bladder. It also helps the pharynx, the voice box. So we have the sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla will help the skin and also the liver. So, and good old turmeric, turmeric. So if enough people take turmeric, then it will help with the coagulation that occurs with, the COVID injection, but
Wow.
also
So let's
it's one
pause there
herb.
because a lot of people, that's something that they want to know. So you're saying if they take turmeric, people who are getting blood clots or to prevent, what about to prevent against blood clots? People listening, they might know, well, I took the COVID vaccine or I had COVID. You're saying right now they should be taking turmeric with what?
Turmeric, you can have turmeric in your food, you can have turmeric in your tea, you can have it in capsules. Eden Herbs has made turmeric with, in capsule form. We put a pinch of black pepper in it to help the absorption. So you can get it in capsule form or you can grind your turmeric, you get your powder. So turmeric, very good for keeping the blood thin. Just like the doctors like to give aspirin to keep the blood thin. But the problem with aspirin is that it can really irritate the stomach if you don't take it after food. And there have been so many thousands of cases of persons with bleeding stomachs as a result of taking aspirin. So you're much better off with turmeric. And turmeric too has its anti-inflammatory effect, not just on the body, but also for the brain, to prevent a bit of Alzheimer's as well. So turmeric you get in our Eden Herbs Detox, which is the Tisane Purify and Tonic. So this Tisane Purify and Tonic can be taken by children from age 2. Yeah? You take a teaspoon twice a day, a bottle every 3 months. From age 8 to 16, you take a tablespoon twice a day. You take 2 bottles every 3 months. And for adults, 16 to 70, you take 2 tablespoons twice a day and take 4 bottles. So you take one after the other. It's a course. Take a break of 3 months and do it again. People ask all the time, how long should I take it for, doctor? I say, as long as you want to stay alive and detox, because we have to keep detoxing. So you take the course, take a break, and keep doing it. So that's a general detox. But for those who are taking the COVID injection, I've made a COVID detox, which will address the coagulation effects. And we have this herb called Anamu, Pitavaria alii.
Animal. And when every time you're talking about, I'm trying to make it as plain as possible for the viewers, because blood clots is an issue over here in Barbados, I'm telling you. And so what you're talking about right now is the people, it's natural remedies. You as a herbalist, trained herbalist, you are making these suggestions for people who are prone to blood clots or have blood clots. Just making it clear. Go right ahead, doctor.
Yeah. So Anamu is a very great herb. And one of the things that really broke my heart, it did break my heart at the time of the start of COVID, and they want to bring in that injection, was the fact that they brought in Cuban doctors. And I knew the Cuban doctors were using the Anamu, the Pitavaria alii. In fact, they call it immunosan because in addition to preventing the clots, and it also helped the immune system, and it also helps to fight inflammation. Such a wonderful herb, Anamu. So there were the Cubans, researched it and used it, call it immunosan, and they come to our country, and they're not being allowed to tell the people, look in your yard, look out there, and use this Anamu. Anyway, Eden Herbs has put it and made it available in
that
tea
bitter cucumber? Somebody's asking if it's bitter. Is it bitter cucumber you're talking about?
Bitter cucumber, that's bitter melon, which is the cerasee. They call it, yes. So Anamu. So it's Pitavaria alii. In St. Lucia, we call it Duvan, Fay Duvan. And in
spell the English version for us.
Anamu. Anamu.
Oh, okay, animal. Okay.
Both animal. And in Jamaica, they call it honey goat weed, and they've done a lot of
Oh,
research. In Jamaica, they call it honey goat weed, but
I've
it's a
heard of
wonderful, yeah. So it's a wonderful herb which you can get from Eden Herbs in either the tea or capsule form. And I've also included it in the COVID detox just to help that coagulation um, disturbance that has been caused by the COVID injection.
yes, yes. Someone might ask, what about conventional medicine? Because we're talking a lot about herbal medicine. Can the conventional medicine, herbal medicine, work together in this? Because some of our listeners are going to the doctor and they're being treated for blood clots. What should they do with, now that we're all of these ideas are being put out there about herbal medicine? Can they work together
They
safely?
can. This is why we speak, and I have been practicing integrative medicine. So in integrative medicine, we use the herbals and we use the conventional medicines. And a lot of people say, hey, doc, I just want the herbal because the herbal can do it. But if you're on conventional medicine, it doesn't stop you from taking the herbal. So for example, taking the detox, you can, even though you're on your regular conventional, allopathic medicines.
Mm-hmm.
So this Tisane purifier, it's quite safe to take with your conventional allopathic medicine.
Mm-hmm. So you can
And
take
so is also the COVID detox. So you can take it as well with your conventional medicine.
yes, yes, yes. Are we collecting any data in the Caribbean? Are we seeing are we seeing similar cases throughout the Caribbean? Do we have a center or somewhere online where we're collecting this post COVID data in terms of symptoms and issues, medical issues?
Yeah, we have tried that over the years, and persons have not been forthcoming in sharing, their symptoms. I think it's a cultural thing about, claiming and saying that you have this and that, you're not well, and, collating the data, because some of my colleagues have tried, but we have not got enough participation, from the public. And this is why, with all these adverse effects, like has happened in the UK, even in the US, persons have been compensated because they can show the correlation with the adverse effects after they have taken the injection. So it's in the UK, it is quite common that persons are evaluated and they diagnosed, and based on that, they are compensated. And here in the Caribbean, we should be, compensated as well, because the government unleashed, hear this word, they unleashed this biological weapon on us and mandated in some instances or made it very difficult not to take it. So they are liable because they have not made the vaccine folks liable. They took on the liability, so they should continue this liability by compensating the people, but the people need to come out and, claim that.
Yes, yes. Well, we were talking about traditional medicine and herbal medicine. Well, I guess I meant conventional medicine and herbal medicine and if they can work safely together. And someone is here asking about ivermectin, and I know that was you gave your patients that. We can say that on the air now because that was public knowledge. Do you still use that in your practice for patients who are suffering from long COVID or who are suffering from the injection?
Yes, Marcia, I'm still the ivermectin doctor. The iver. I'm still the ivermectin doctor. And thanks, for, this COVID. It has brought forward a lot of the research that had already been done with ivermectin from since 2012. There
Mm.
has been data that has shown the positive effects of ivermectin even against cancer. So that data was shelved, but now, it has come to light. And yes, persons are coming to me now, to prescribe them the ivermectin. And I put it with albendazole, it's two, and, a protocol, a regime against cancer. And it has been very successful because they're looking at cancer, for example, as being caused by parasites. And so, these antiparasitics have been shown to be very successful. And I work with Dr. William Marcus out of Canada, and he's been treating thousands of patients and coming into my hundred of patients for using the ivermectin against cancer. So even ivermectin here, it's not herbal, it's conventional allopathic medicine. It's true it was derived from the soil, which is how a lot of allopathic medicines have evolved. But this particular ivermectin, the research has shown that it has so many pathways that it works towards, fighting cancer, also against inflammation. And now the research has shown that it too can counteract the effects of the spike protein and even the coagulation factor. So in fact, there's a regime that we use the ivermectin presently now to counteract that spike protein from the COVID injection.
But isn't it so interesting that that is one? I remember if I said ivermectin a couple years ago on this program, even about 2 years ago, my program would be shut down. I've lost about four, YouTube channels because I said ivermectin, the word ivermectin. But now they're finding out that it's even helping people post COVID. Isn't
That's
that
right.
that's very, very interesting? Somebody's asking if it's made from the neem tree. Does it come from neem?
Absolutely not. No, 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 no.
No.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
actually some microbes in the soil. The professor out of Japan extracted it from microbes in the soil. So it's the neem is a different plant. It's a very good herb, very good herb. In fact, it is claimed possibly to help with the nanoparticle contamination caused by the COVID injection.
You mean
But
neem?
neem,
Neem.
yeah, neem, yeah.
Wow.
So
I
neem
tell
is a
you.
very good herb as well. We have it in capsule form and just the leaves, the tea, And I see so many trees all over Barbados. It's decorating the streets, isn't it? So neem is
Yes.
a very good herb, for helping the immune system. Definitely the guys with the enlarged prostates. And by helping the immune system, this is another basic thing to do, keep your immune system working very well.
Yes, yes. Wow, this is valuable information. Someone is saying here, Lane, although taking the vaccine, I contracted COVID on three occasions.
Haha.
After the last episode, I lost all sense of smell and taste. Is there anything that could, if she's lost sense of smell and taste, can she get it back?
Yeah, we can work on that. And sometimes they have a deficiency of zinc. So she can take zinc, see if that will help. I don't know how the rest of her body is, but sounds like, a whole immune system needs to be helped and she needs to be detoxed. But they can have a zinc deficiency, which is one of the manifestations and the loss of taste and smell.
Yes, yes. Now, one of the questions that a lot of people ask is it possible for vaccinated and unvaccinated people to affect each other's health in any way? I've got a question online. Somebody said, can you be affected by through sex or through kissing a vaccinated person? Can the spike proteins affect you? There are lots of these kinds of information online, and somebody said that as a question.
A very important question, and to be very aware of the concept of shedding. We call it shedding. So those who have been vaccinated and have the spike protein circulating, they can shed that through kissing, through sex, or sweating, and through sweat. And it's a very important concept because there have been cases of married couples, one vaccinated and the other not. So that person who is not vaccinated would have to keep COVID detox because they most likely will be affected from the spike protein being shed by the vaccinated partner.
So shedding is
So
a
both
real
of them,
thing. So you're saying shedding is a real thing?
it's a real thing. Shedding is a real thing. And I had a patient, just recently, she said in her workplace, she's the only one not vaccinated. And she just feels in herself that, she's not how she should be. And she knows that, she's suffering from the shedding. And I did her D-dimer test. And that's another thing that persons might want to keep a check on. It tells about your coagulation level as a D-dimer test. And if it's high, then you're more at a risk of clotting, so to get deep vein thrombosis or even pulmonary embolism, which is the clot in the lung, and of course stroke, stroke in the head and heart attack. So the D-dimer test. So I just did a D-dimer test just out of just being thorough, and it was very much elevated. And she's not vaccinated, but she works with vaccinated folks. So sometimes you don't even have to hug and kiss and have sex. You can get shed on just by being in the company of these vaccinated folks, for too long. And I was telling my friend, the time that they were telling people, go get vaccinated to protect your grandmother. Now, the vaccinated folks are the ones that are affecting grandmother because they spiking and shedding on grandmother. You see where we are at now. So persons who are vaccinated are a risk to us. I'm in this category. In my practice, I have to do the COVID detox intermittently because I have vaccinated folks coming in contact with, and I'm sure I'm being shed on. So yes, to your question, persons who are not vaccinated are at risk by persons who have been vaccinated, and especially those not keeping detox. So if everybody detox, then that's good. We can hug up and do everything else together.
So
So
we
everybody
need
detox.
detox. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do the COVID detox so everybody can keep their spike protein at bay because unfortunately at this stage, Marcia, we have not discovered anything that will get rid of the spike protein because it's self-replicating. The way it has been manufactured, it is self-replicating. So what we do, we keep it at bay.
Yes.
So we haven't been able to get rid of it. So self-replicating, so you have to keep detox. You can take my COVID detox, or you can go on a regime of ivermectin. The ivermectin regime for detoxing from the spike protein is taking a dose daily for about 3 weeks. And then you can take a dose twice a week and subsequently just weekly as prophylaxis to prevent the spike from getting to a level. So ivermectin, back to the rescue, is here to save us. And of course, if you do that, then, it decreases your risk of cancer because I told you there are at least 12 pathways that researchers have showed that
Right.
ivermectin works to prevent and treat cancer.
Yes, yes. Now, we have another 5 minutes in this this interview, and I know you spoke about at the beginning about a new you call it technology, and you're working
Yes.
with a out of Canada. Can you speak about that, because that's something that's we would love to be able to do an interview with those persons out of Canada, concerning this new technology. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Okay, so here's a big word. You can Google it and start looking at them. Zymonetics. Zymonetics. So Zymonetics. So that is the name of the company out of Canada, and we'll be looking at technologies for personalized care. So we'll be looking at the various red light therapies, the infrared saunas, very specific, medical evidence based. And we'll also be looking at vibration therapy. We'll be looking at the ozone therapy. So there will be a lot. And then our CEO, Tesla Latouche, I think you have agreed to have on your program next week. So persons can start looking forward to hear of these personalized technologies that can help and aid in recovery. In addition to that, we are actively looking at stem cell therapy. So, stem cell therapy, which can help with rejuvenation of joints and even fight cancer, and of course, longevity, which is what a lot of people want to live much longer, and not just live longer, but be healthier as you stay around longer. So, all of those Tesla will speak of next week when we look at the personalized treatments that we will start to make available here in St. Lucia and when you're already in Barbados for personalized
Yes.
medical
Actually, we
government.
can't even do it next week. We would have to do it the following week. The following week. And I'm looking forward to that, because I think that I believe it's so important that we begin to take our health in our own hands, as it were. Meaning everybody, that's why I like your approach about talking about just basic things, what you eat, your exercising, drinking enough water. While you're talking, I'm thinking about myself. You're not pushing too much of the chemicals. And I like that, and it's things that I can do. So I'm looking forward to this other interview with this personalized treatment and this new technology that you're talking about. I read a little piece of it, and it was talking about even us as Black people, how we can get that treatment to personalize it to who we are as a
That's right.
people. And I think that is really wonderful. Is there any final word that you want to say to us? I feel like the time went so fast.
It did indeed. It did indeed. But we must always remember, this disease called unforgiveness. Hello, unforgiveness is a disease. So
Totally
let's
remember that.
that one we can cure ourselves of. It can be very, very difficult, but it's essential, the unforgiveness not be part of what's our disease. And then having that inner peace and having no, sort of animosity, the peace within is what is healing. Peace and, well, love yourself, love others, even love your enemies, isn't it? And that's part of the unforgiveness. And that is very much essential in keeping ourselves healthy and being able
Wow.
to fight and deal with what's out there.
You see why you're just so real. I asked you what's the final thing you want to talk about, and you said that disease called unforgiveness. And a lot of us, people offend us daily, and we want to get at them. And I love the fact that you talk about getting rid of unforgiveness. Trevor Seeley said, very true, unforgiveness skills. And, I want to thank you for all the people you've helped in St. Lucia. I remembered when all that you went through and you stood up for your patients. And that's what a real doctor does. Yeah.
Oh, yes, by the
That's,
grace of God, by the grace of God, yes. By the
yeah.
grace of God, and the people, they don't always come out and ring the bell, but they pray, and that is developing and maintaining our spirituality is all part of it. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let me just say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Gilberta St. Rose, a trained medical doctor. She is a general practitioner, herbalist, and a dermatologist for over 30 years. And we were honored to have you with us. And what you're saying to us is not what we normally hear from our general practitioners, but we're grateful that we have doctors that can talk to us about herbal medicine. And I love that you still you're prescribing conventional medicine as well. And I think that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Gilberta St. Rose. And I look forward to seeing you in another 2 weeks. Okay. God bless you.
God bless you. Thanks very much, Marcia. Keep up the good work. And remember the ITAL food.
ITAL food. Yes. ITAL food. ITAL food. ITAL food. I'm going to stick close to you.
Okay. God bless. Bye-bye. Good night.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listeners.
It's an
Thank you.
honor, a real honor. Wow, guys, that is, I love that kind of stuff where we're pushing herbal treatments for inflammation and and all of these kinds of things. And I know there are comments in the asking if she's a real doctor. All you've got to do is just research her. And if you want to get her credentials, message me and you will get her credentials. She is not just a herbalist. The person says, I see someone saying she's also a general practitioner. She does general practice. She's a herbalist. She's a dermatologist. And, and so she's had to study for all of those. And so you're going to get a variety. She's not, I think that is very important in this time. You're going to find that is important to get that kind of balance. All right. All right. Well, we are moving on to another doctor, but this is Derek Alleyne, Dr. Derek Alleyne. And tonight he has a big topic tonight. And I know he's preparing to come on. And I had another topic up, but we're using that as a subtopic. And all of a sudden, my WhatsApp isn't working. So I'm, oh my gosh, I'm not getting through on my WhatsApp, Dr. Alleyne. But you will tell us what the topic is, because it went out of my head, and my plan was, okay, it's back up. It's back up. All right. Well, I just saw it just came right across the yes. Okay. I am sorry, guys. I'm getting it. Ooh, it's gone again. Anyway, Dr. Alleyne is here and he is ready for us. Welcome, Dr. Alleyne.
Hey, princess.
Thank you.
I am so happy to be back again this week. I'm not getting into the discussion that you had before.
Yes.
We
can't see your face though. Where's the camera? We want to see your face.
I don't know. I don't know where my camera is, so I don't have to go left or right.
Okay,
so you tell me where. Am I good here?
Yeah, you're good here. And if you could pull down the camera, like pull down the computer, just bring it down a little bit. Yes.
Am I good here?
Yes, that's perfect.
All right, good.
And stay.
Because
stay to your left. Stay more to your left.
I can't keep quiet. That's the problem. So am I good there?
Yes, you're perfect there. You're perfect.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I listened to the discussion just now, and this I don't know the doctor.
Dr.
We
Gilberta.
are Barbadians not asking questions about the post-COVID issue. What has happened to the issue about the vaccines? We had a vaccine scandal. When about this date? Is it just date? The government of Barbados had to be part of a decision to let a man that deal with concrete bring in the vaccines. And it was a big scandal went all across the globe. Then there's no investigation onto what has happened. So I come to talk with that, but I just listening to the discussion just now. I want to know why that has disappeared from the discussion agenda in Barbados. That here is an issue that created negative publicity for Barbados across the globe, and it's gone to sleep. Who was responsible for the decision to make a man that is dealing concrete responsible for importing vaccines?
I love your imagery. You remind me as well. A man that deals, when you think about it, a man that deals with concrete, right? To be importing vaccines.
Vaccines. I mean, it shouldn't disappear. Even if you ain't gonna control, it should be a discussion that is ongoing. How was it possible? That's all. I don't know. You don't know. I don't know the facts. But I'm saying a discussion should not disappear. It should be an ongoing discussion for a very long time. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who they are, who the players are. I ain't nothing to do with that. That is an issue.
Yes.
That the World Health Organization, the power said, only reputable providers should be able to deal with the importation of vaccines. And we got to mind that dealing with concrete was involved. Just tell me what happened. That's all I want to know. I ain't fighting anybody, you know. I just want them to explain it.
Yeah.
How it got to that.
Yeah.
What issues allowed that person or whoever to be able to deal with it? There are rules. There were international rules about the provisions of vaccines. How was this individual able to breach all of those rules, or to contravene them, to jump over them, come under them, and get a contract to supply them? I ain't nothing to do what happened after he got it. I want to know, how did the person get it? How did the person get the right to import vaccines? I just explained to me. I didn't say it was right or wrong.
Yes.
I'm saying the international position was there are set criteria about who should import the deal with the vaccines. Looking at the list of people who's supposed to deal with that kind of company was not part of it.
Right.
Explain to me.
That deals in concrete.
Anyway, that's all I want. Then Quali and Freddie, explain to me.
Yeah. but listen, I actually did find the topic that thank God. Yeah, I had it somewhere else. MOTTLEY and the promises. And I am excited about this one because you said she promised from the roof. You want to stop and get some water and come back?
No, I'm good. I don't know if I got something I'm allergic to that got me sneezing, but I'm good.
You're good. Okay. You said from the roof to what again? The other promises from the roof to the road?
No, my thing is roof to reefs.
The roof to the reefs. I know it was another R. From the roof to the reefs. What get into that for us tonight?
Right, man. Let me just say thanks for inviting me again, and I'm always willing to come and share my perspective on national issues. And I heard the Prime Minister enunciate a policy last week. Today's last week on getting rid of all the challenges facing houses that are encumbered by family issues.
Yes.
Family issues. Right? So if you got a house and your mother died and there are children related having a problem with the house, the Prime Minister is going to get rid of them. Prime Minister says I can get rid of them.
What do you mean get rid of what? The houses?
All the challenges done. She got a program and a policy to get rid of them.
Rid of the challenges.
Whatever the issues are.
Yes.
Relating to the transfer of properties for people in dilapidated, unoccupied houses. The Prime Minister of Barbados has a formula to get rid of them. Can you imagine that? This genius got a policy of getting rid of these issues. What freaks out me, Marcia, is that I would direct the urban when the Prime Minister of Barbados became Prime Minister. And that was on the agenda. That was on the Urban Development Commission's agenda. I was director.
Yes.
And everything you heard last week, I heard back then. She's going to get rid of them issues. And after about a year, all of the efforts disappeared, and she's back to it now.
So you were in urban when she was Prime Minister.
I was urban. David Thompson invited me to be director on secondment from the union in 2009 because there were some issues that had some issues. So he invited me.
Yeah, somebody saying they're seeing the top of your head. They want to see your face. So you have to. You're right. You have to sit up like that. Yes.
Right. So once you can hear me, if I can sit, don't listen, talk. You can hear me.
If you sit with your back against the chair, we can hear you. We're hearing.
So you can hear me now.
Yes. Well, definitely.
Right, okay. I was stepping forward to make sure you heard me. Okay.
Oh no, we can hear you. We definitely can hear you. Yes.
So I was director urban.
Yes.
And the Prime Minister of Barbados, the current Prime Minister of Barbados, came in and she was going to deal with about 4 major issues that she saw that would be critical. And the 4 issues were she's going to turn every roof in Barbados into 30 to 35 degree pitch to make sure that they were hurricane resilient. Every roof.
Every roof in Barbados.
Every roof, 30 to 35% pitch so that we will be hurricane resilient.
I have to write these things. So guys, listen, you got to, this is serious, but this is a man in charge of urban, right? So listen to what he's saying.
I was the director.
Director of urban, and every roof, the roof that you live under right now, the Prime Minister.
Every roof. We had a problem. The Prime Minister came in. I know she went to some conference. Somebody tell she so. But she came in and said that she's going to develop a program to change every roof to 30 to 35% degree roof to make them resilient to hurricanes. MOTTLEY said so.
Really?
I was director urban. You call any of the staff of urban and asked them. And I was the director and I asked a question one day. Is the Prime Minister aware of the level of cost that related to this thing? First thing, you can't just change a roof. A roof don't stand on its own. It stands on a structure, a foundation and a substructure that comes up to the roof. And if the house's structure and substructure bad, you can't put a roof on it. You can't put on a hat unless you got a head. You're gonna wear a hat if you're gonna head. Right. A hat is to put on a head. So you can't put on a roof unless you got a structure for the roof to sit on. And after about a year, Miss MOTTLEY running about, talking rubbish as usual, the program was thrown into the wolves. There was another one. There was another one. There was an.
No, before you go, let us soak in this one. Derek, Alleyne, where you come from? So Derek, you are Dr. Alleyne. Let me call Dr. Alleyne. You are saying how many houses approximately in Barbados? Well, at that time, how many houses?
I don't know how much were addressed, but I can tell you that there were over. When we did a little survey in St. Andrew.
Yeah.
I think there were 200 and somebody houses alone in St. Andrew who did not meet the 35 degree pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's St. Andrew alone. It wasn't,
no,
sorry. Between St. Andrew and St. Thomas, there were right. So,
and she was going to make this happen.
Inter Barbados, but that was not the only project. You know, the next project was the next project was pit eradication. She was going to get rid of every pit toilet in Barbados.
You serious?
Man, you go back. I let only she supporters and her propagandists tell you she was going to get rid of every pit toilet. It would be eradicated in Barbados. Every pit toilet.
I wonder if people really listening. Folks, this is why they don't want people like Derek Alleyne. They don't want Ralph Thorne. They don't want to hear from the former prime minister. They don't want to hear from people like that, because they have the knowledge. You hear what I tell you? They don't want to hear from people like Caswell. They don't want to hear from those kinds of people because they speak straight and they got the knowledge and they have the information. But go on. So that was number one. I'm writing, I'm taking notes. All the roof will be 30 to 35.
The first thing was the roofs. And the problem, you cannot put a roof on a structure that can't hold it.
Right.
So that went through the road. Because a roof is about $25,000 to $30,000. But you can't put $25,000 or $30,000 down there on a structure that can't hold it. And a lot of the houses that had bad roofs, they ain't got enough structure or enough foundation. So that foolishness disappeared from MOTTLEY's agenda in 2020. It disappeared. The next thing was the pit toilet. Lord have mercy. Now, pit toilets got a lot of problems. One, where is the house located? MOTTLEY government went to Parliament and changed zones. So we still got zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4.
Yeah.
The changes is some foolish. Up to now, I don't think anybody understands that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, W, A, N, O, P. And nobody don't understand this new zone system that MOTTLEY got. I don't think MOTTLEY understands it. But all of these zones that used to be zone 1 or 2, which prohibited building in those zones, no, building is permitted. But in the place there in Waterford, where they have the NCF, the cultural things, what are things name? The botanical gardens.
Yes, the Campus Village and all of that.
Right, and the botanic gardens. The recommendation for the sewage in those gardens come to nearly $5 million. And it is not the cost of putting it in that is the issue, It's how do you maintain it? So right now that project is up in the air. Until they come and say that, I telling lies. Let MOTTLEY come and say.
Which project you're talking about? You're talking about
No. You see where the botanical gardens is?
Yes.
No, that used to be zone 1.
Yes.
The government went to Parliament and changed the zones to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, I, J, K, W, N, O, P, W, W, X, Y, Z.
Yes.
Nobody know what that means. Because there's all sort of confusion on whether it's A, B to C, C, D, E, F, H, I, J, K. Nobody is clear where these zones going. No, and let her come and explain them. Because I don't have to. Because I confused. So if I confused, let her explain it to me. But the zones say that X is permitted and what is not permitted. But the recommendation for the place where they have the Calypso competition before they
Yeah.
moved them out now was that a system was to be put inside there that would have cost about $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is not only the installation cost, is how do you maintain it?
Oh, so 5 million to install it, but then then they have to maintain it. So this is sewage.
How
And
do
I
you
mean,
maintain it, right? How do you keep it, cleanse it, and right? And they gone over the other side, which is still in zone 1, where they got this thing that know how to festival or something. And again, the only place that has a facility and that is in those zonal areas is the geriatric thing. But again, they don't know how they're gonna maintain it. And
so
I'm
that
hoping.
so is that why? Because we're hearing that the geriatric hospital, new geriatric hospital, one of the reasons that it's not yet open has to do with sewage.
And so
Um,
that's a zone, that's an area that is interfering with our water table.
sit back, Doctor
And
Alleyne. I want to hear this here clearly. So to go back, talk to me about that, because that, so you are confirming, because someone told us that last night that it had to do with the sewage. That's one of the reasons why it's not yet open. And so you're saying is that they have a problem with maintaining the maintenance of the sewage system in that area of
look,
water.
the government, that's Motley. See, Marcia, Motley is nuisance. Motley is a nuisance. And that she said, I deal with me. I say Motley is a nuisance, a public nuisance. She like a rat running through a hole and you're trying to catch it. I say so. Look, that area, Bell, Waterford, all of those areas are very close to the water table. I am not an environmental specialist. I am not. But I listen and I hear. That's a challenge for all of us. Motley and them, let me say Motley government, right? And change the determination and what is a challenge area. We used to got zone 1, 2, 3, and 4. Zone 1 was restricted building, 2 was semi, and 3 was allocated, and 4 was permitted. I don't remember all the terms off my head. When it was an urban, I knew them. But those were categorizations for what was permitted and what was not permitted. More than they went to Parliament and changed them to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, whatever, and allowed building codes to be adjusted to meet what they wanted. The problem is, though, the environmentalists ain't stupid. Because if you change the name, it don't change the challenges that building in that area creates. And in those areas, we got issues that are close to the water table and affect our water supply, the quality of our water supply. So they don't come up against people saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. So all like the Ivy and Waterford and Station Hill, all those areas are under pressure for acceptance. So all these shows in there, all of them are chemical toilets. Every time there's a Calypso show inside Motley's Park. Motley Park is the place there above the stadium. That part, that she park.
The botanical gardens.
Well, that Motley Park in the botanic gardens, down the gardens. The botanic gardens don't got noise and people keeping noise to upset the insects and the birds. That Motley Park, but that's no longer botanic garden. The original direction that nothing with music and noise should be kept in the botanical garden. That Motley Park. For Motley to bring young people out there to jump up and walk up, get short necks and long necks and have a party. I say so. So out there, that area there, it's everything there's effect there. There's about 15 to 50 chemical toilets.
That is true.
I telling you, yes, 50 to 50. Depends on the side of the party. The 50 chemical toilets gonna be put down there to have a show out there. And
How,
taxpayers pay for it. The
how cost
taxpayers,
effective is that? How
in
cost
no effect, it is unsustainable. Except that some friends of some other people get to supply the toilets. That's all. Friends of some people get to supply toilets, so everybody walk away happy. 50 toilets at $150 a night. You
Mhm.
were doing
Come
the
back
math.
to your left. Come back to your left. Come back to your left. Yeah. Yeah.
You do the math. 50 toilets at $150 a night. You work out the maths. And then go on the body clean them. So then you go in there, you go run. You open one day, you go duck. Offensive. This is Morley government. That's how Morley is running this little rock we got. And a lot of people but here honey, she's the best thing since sliced bread.
They don't understand. So you got those roofs. She's gonna make them 30 to 35 degrees, roof resilient to hurricane all over Barbados. And in the space of a couple years, she abandoned that idea because it couldn't work, because she realized that in order to make those roof resilient to hurricane, you're gonna need to change roofs.
Not
Right?
only the roofs, the house. Try to can't put a roof on itself. If you got a house that the bottom bad, you can't put a roof on the bad bottom. So rather than $30,000 just for the roof is 30,000, but you can't put the roof on a bad house. So you got to fix the bottom. You got to fix the bottom to put the roof on it. So quickly they dismantle that. Dismantle that. The next issue was this issue about dilapidated and unoccupied houses. That's the next issue that she here last week talking about rubbish about it. And I don't care who in she ministry come out, tell them deal with me. I was there when the urban man, the chairman, I won't call his name, came to me. I said the prime minister wanted to do this thing about dealing with these houses that are unoccupied. So my position to him when he spoke, he told me I brought my staff and staff sat down and I don't tell, can I speak? And it's an unoccupied house is not a one-dimensional issue. Unoccupied house can got family issues, it can got structural issues, town planning issues. So we gotta do an analysis of all the unoccupied houses. But that was Morley political pledge in 2018. When she came to urban, it was then reduced to unoccupied and dilapidated, and there were always gray areas. But anyhow, a report was prepared. The people at urban can either agree or disagree with me, but we prepared a report. And we identified that, let's take the issues with family. She keeps saying that she deal with the family ones. My father got a house. Alleyne's father got a house. He dies, he doesn't have a will. He doesn't have a will. So the property got to be divided between the family. And therefore letters of administration are required. The problem is the court system and the letter of administration system is that deal with that. If a property is up for decision making, deal with it. Make the administrative process simpler. So you gotta go to letters of administration and it takes, I got an issue here. My uncle died in, I can't remember, Lord, 2016. And the letter of administration is done. My mother told me this week, my mother told me somebody came there, my sister dealt with it. saying that they're not trying to get the letters of administration. So what Motley is saying that she's going to make the process easier. What she's going to do? My aunt, let me say my aunt living in States. One live in Canada, one live in New York, one live in England. I got 3 aunts. And there's a property. What Marty gonna do? Subpoena them to come home? I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So you're saying that this wonderful press conference that she had, well, it was done, you know, this beautiful backdrop, the place looked like heaven. Some you know, these they were advertising. It kind of remind me of when she was advertising the Hope Houses, the whole atmosphere of it. And you know, and so she's promising that she is going to under her administration, she's going to make sure that these unoccupied houses, dilapidated houses, that they're going to be used, and she's going to you know, get through the red tape, and she's going to
Marcia, this is a diversion tactic. This is a tactic to get me.
Oh.
There's a tactic to get me discussing what we discussing. This is what it is. Molly can't do anything. She can't speed it up. She can't do anything. I remember the General Secretary of the DLP back in 2000, and the first time he ran, suggested that we do a program of getting these properties registered and so on. Not no issue. Is that each of these housing confusions has specific issues.
Mm-hmm.
They are not universal. They all are not confused by the same issue. Right? But there's a diversion. Because Molly was sitting down at a time when she was taking land out of agriculture. So she created this thing for me to have this big discussion. She was taking land out of agriculture when she made a statement.
Oh.
So this all people, so we hear now about consumers ourselves, about this discussion about the viability of the land, the transfer of titles and things in urban, and she in an agricultural bed taking land out of agriculture.
So hold a minute. So you're saying this is a diversion then? So while she's taking the land out of agriculture, she have us over here discussing.
Arguing about this here.
And then people are going to get worried. What is she's going to take the house, or the, you know? Wow.
That's all about. No, and Molly think that people ignorant. Molly is more ignorant than anybody else. I say that. Look, Molly up there sitting down on. I ain't got to take my phone on my phone. Some project that she's now taking several acres, and she's going to build these among houses. Some among thousands of houses, and this money, Vineyard Meadow. Mm-hmm. And she's going to do all of this thing. And then she injects this thing. She put in front the Bajans, these gullible Bajans, about she coming by the urban, and she making sure that housing line in urban Barbados is not used. But the ignorance is a diversion. The issue that Molly now take acres out of agriculture and hand them to investors.
Wow.
And she got to tell Barbados who the investors are and what the program is. Who benefiting? $140,000 or $170,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom house in lands. The Democrat Labour Party, you see this boy Michael Ashley? God can deal with him. Only God can deal with him. He was minister when we started $5 square foot project. He was minister, and he in this government here now. And then look at the rob agents. $5 square foot build up all of his constituencies. Enough houses get built. St. Philip, St. John, and Christchurch. That $5 a square foot for land that the government either own or acquired. And he's minister in the government, no, he's not a damn word. God can deal with him. We can't deal with him. Trust me, we can't deal with him. But I'm going back to Molly. Molly makes a big statement about these urban houses and the dilapidated. That's not the issue. That is to get us to discuss it. Let's ignore that. Let's tell Molly, take that and put it with the monkey for your nuts. Let me focus about this land that she no handing out. She no handing plantation land, agriculture land. I saw my friend Gilberta St send me a thing today, and a thing analysis he did of it, and they can come out next week and deal with it, telling me that this is Molly's destructive policy for land. She's taking agriculture land in those high agriculture belts in St. Philip and St. George and hand them the developers to build 1,700 houses and all kind of rubbish. I heard Bradshaw talk about how many houses she was going to build, and George Payne said he's not going to be part of any process that takes the land out of agriculture to build houses. George Payne, that's why Molly get rid of it though. That way he went out of politics, because he couldn't live with it. But Molly is now telling us that she's going to take this land in St. George, the agricultural belt, and build houses on it. And then come down and introduce this issue about urban houses to suggest. So our eyes are to shut down in the St. George, St. Philip belt and focus on what happened in urban Barbados with these houses. Molly tell you we dumpsy. Tell Molly that we are not dumpsy, we are not stupid, we are not blind. We can see through her ignorance. Tell Molly that we are not foolish, that this camouflage is not going to work. Molly's handing prime agricultural land to developers so that a certain select group is going to make a wash a ton of money in a project of the government partnership with private sector. And we know who the private sector people are. We know. It's not you, Marcia. It's not me. It's not the woman in Cave Hill, in Whitehall. Molly knows these private sector partners in this partnership. He said whole crowd. That $60 million have not been explained. And the aftermath of the whole project still not explained. The one they went to St. Peter and St. Lucie, where a contractor run away with money and disappeared. These private sector, public sector partnerships have not benefited working class Barbadians. The houses are outside $170,000 house project for people working for $2,000 a month. Can't afford it. Cannot qualify. I'm only walking about these things and business listening. Believing that Molly makes sense. Molly has never made sense for the last 40 years. Molly has just been opportunistic talk. And tell her she said, no, I know when she came in Young Democrats. With me and Tyrone Eswick, all of us. She's Molly ain't a body. Molly ain't a body. She ran the Labour Party because inside the Democratic Party she was nobody. Tyrone Eswick, David Thompson, that's a young crowd. And that already treated her as though she was nobody. So she ran the Labour Party. Her father came to the DLP when he got in some trouble. And Barbados sent him to the United States, I think as consul or something. And the city seat became vacant. Her father was the minister for the city. He got in trouble. And Molly came and joined the BLP. Molly came and joined the BLP. She was a young Democrat. But when she recognized that there were so many bright people in it, she ran and went by the party. I say that nobody
Yeah,
can.
but you know, the first person who made that clear to me, and I was trying to push back at it, was Caswell, and I keep calling his name because you remind me of him. And you know, he kept telling me that she's not very bright, but then she sold that to me so much that I didn't believe him. I just thought he's just making up, you know, just for jokes. Until when you sit down and start to look at the policies, and I mean, even this one about the roof is hilarious. You know, she just seems like somebody, as I said, would go to a conference. She hears a buzzword, she hears an idea, and she just comes back and she says it. And Barbadians are going like this. But what
Look,
we realize is years later, it has not come to pass. It's like how they said they were going to build 10,000 houses. It's always so big and grand. Don't we all see it? We have to see it for what it is.
every time Molly gets a chance, she announces something big. And the problem is that our journalists in Barbados are so compromised because they're working for companies, and we got to be careful what I say, who who depend on government advertising.
Right, yes.
So they got to walk very carefully. But I am gonna go back to the other pledges Molly made was to reduce the toilet pits.
Yes, the pit toilets. Reduce,
Marcia,
yes.
Marcia, that was an embarrassment.
And that was an embarrassment. Why?
Director, there is international evidence that pit toilets, well constructed, are better than waterborne toilets. There's international evidence. You can provide chemical solutions. Same way you got chemical toilet, you can build a structure. I'm not technical, I'm not advanced, and I'm technical, but I'm talking about when I was given the assignment by MOTTLEY and her board to examine this. We should provide.
MOTTLEY gave you the assignment, and this
MOTTLEY, as Prime Minister, was responsible for urban. I was the director.
Yes.
And we were given a responsibility to look at the possibilities of these pit toilets. First thing, the impression was given that there were thousands of pit toilets. Our evidence ensured that. Our evidence ensured that there were not thousands, there were hundreds of them. And they were not widespread. And a lot of the problems had to do with rental units. People were renting units. You rent a house and they're going to pit toilet. And you can't change that. You go renting a house and the house got a pit toilet. The government can't change that because it's a rental unit. Or you live in an area like Ivy, Station Hill, where there's an issue with water table. So you can't get permission to put in a water toilet because it's a restricted area. They went in and changed the law to change it from zone this and zone that, but they still couldn't do anything with providing waterborne toilets for the people in those areas, because changing the name don't stop the damage or the challenge for the environment. It can't change it. If a waterborne toilet is a challenge to a system, ecosystem, and because you change the zone from zone A, from zone 1 into zone ABC, it don't change the challenge.
That's there,
And environmentalists say, no, Molly, you can't do that. So the people out there in IV and them places out there still got a problem with pit toilets. But the Chinese and the Indians have developed systems to deal with pit toilets. And that you can put in a pit toilet that you can save the environment and doesn't create problems. rather than deal with the technology that has been advanced over the last 15, 20 years with pet toilets. The government keeps talking, Molly keeps talking ignorance. And they won't call she idiot. They will never call Molly idiot, she's prime minister. But she keeps repeating the same things every time. This came up in 2018, it came up in 2021, came in 2024, it's by 2026. She can do this with these things. Marcia, Motley cannot change. Motley is Motley. Motley is about confusing Barbadians with rhetoric of how great she is. She has a media that continue to embellish everything she does to make her look like she's Jesus in reincarnated. But Molly is less a woman than you are. And he said that before any frequent because I know you. Good. Molly, it doesn't care about Molly's about Molly. Molly's about Molly's image. And she didn't even care about her national image now. She's about international image. People feel Molly's this big McGuffey that change the world. She can challenge Trump. She's gonna change the world. Molly's gonna change the world.
Yeah.
And you idiots about here getting away that fullness.
Yeah.
Molly.
Go ahead. And then I have someone here, and I think if Dave could put it back up, I don't know if you are aware of this, that there was a 58.5 million US dollars that was a loan that was given from taken from the Arabs. Dave, you have that? And I thought that I just saw the article said it was for pit toilets. What do you think has happened to that loan?
Ask Motley. No, that's not the first loan we had. Look, listen. Money was. I don't know if Barbados is going to say. And don't wake up. I don't know if it's going to say don't wake up. You see the project in Cheapside? They got a project ongoing in Cheapside. Where she's building kiosks. Opposite the post office.
Mm-hmm.
That was to finish in October last year or November last year. It ain't finished yet. They still got the hoarding. Still going wrong it. And the money that was allocated to doing the toilet project and those projects, that money was transferred to that project. To get the kiosk going, because that is more politically savvy. Right? And that project still has not yet been completed. Still has not yet been completed. And I don't want to come out of my comfort zone and say that. I want Barbados to ask who was the project coordinator, what's his background, who he is, what process was used to ensure that he got the contract, how much money was allocated to the project, how much new money was allocated to the project. That project was supposed to be done October last year. We almost to October again. And money is being expended in that Cheapside project for those kiosks. And nobody's questioning it. The journalists in Barbados gone dumb. Gone dumb.
Wow. So you're telling me the first loan of 58.5 million will go toward upgrading polyclinics and building 2 new ones at Randall Phillips and Oystins and Eunice Gibson and Warrens. I'm reading the article here. The second loan of 34.2 million will support urban renewal projects, including better access to water, housing, and other infrastructure. It will also help the government's efforts to eliminate pit toilets in urban areas.
That money was transferred for other activities that without there's no opposition, There is absolutely no opposition to Motley.
That's why we need Thorn. We needed Thorn. You
And,
don't.
I write in a paper now. Lord, give me a little time to write it on the
You will.
impact of torn in Parliament. I write the impact
Yeah.
of torn in Parliament.
Yeah.
And Barbadians and people, I don't know, civil people in St. John, I don't know what happened. But the absence of a thorn in Parliament is a major loss.
A major loss.
Major loss. I mean, Motley and her gang. I want you to repeat Motley and her gang.
Her gang. And I repeat it with you, her gang. Because that's what is happening to Barbados. They have Barbados on the siege. All of them. Her gang. Go ahead.
You see and I was talking about the toilets and the roof at the reef and those projects and so on.
The unoccupied.
There's another project that Motley promised to deal with, the transfer of tenantries. She was to bring $10 million. She was to bring $10 million and transfer all the urban tenantries.
Really?
Yes. Sir. Ask Motley. Ask her. No, ask me, ask her. $10 million supposed to go into that program to transfer the tenantries because there were glitches and so on. She goes, so now I'm going to supply this money and I'm going, that's my baby. She said, my pet baby. I was a minister in 1984, 85 when that project was conceived, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Talk. Empty rhetoric. And these business boys listen to her. But I was on a meeting there with a lady who was looking at the impact of adult suffrage on politics in the region. A beautiful young lady. I don't want to call her name, but she's doing an excellent job of going across the region and discussing the impact of suffrage. And she met with the Labour Party, and I'm sure that they would have given her a very positive view of it. And I was short of telling her some of the real belly hurt things I got because it would be personal. It would not be advised by my party. I represent parties there, so I kept my personal views on it. But the challenge, the suffrage in Barbados, and suffrage is the right to vote.
Yes.
Right. Is that older people will vote because they got commitments to their political party or their beliefs in democracy and so on. Where are young people going to vote? Young people vote if they can get somebody to confirm an ability to get spliff, broad neck and short shoulders, access the money to go to the Fed. And if a political party can't satisfy those needs, you're dead.
So let's go over that. So you're saying young people will vote in Barbados. You're talking about Barbados.
Yes.
If they can get a spliff.
Spliff. Money to buy a spliff.
Money to buy a spliff.
Broad shoulder, you know what broad shoulders?
No.
That's a brandy. That's a flask. A long neck is 26 ounces.
Right. Okay. So they want a broad shoulder. So they want some brandy.
That's a flask, and the long shoulders. That's the short shoulders, and then long neck is the 26 ounce.
So basically, rum and the drugs. Basically, so if they can get, they want money to buy a spliff. They want some liquor and what else?
Party.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Barbados? Did you hear that? In the midst of all winter, just listen to that. But continue.
No, so when you talk about the franchise is supposed to allow people who did not have the ways and means to vote, an opportunity to vote against the people who control. So in the 1950s, the franchise The debate on the franchise started in 1950s, like 54, by 1940s, and by 1950, the franchise issue became popular, and Granny Adams and them will run with it. And in 1951 election, the Barbados Day Party won the government on the franchise issue, universal franchise that people were allowed to vote for the first time in Barbados on the basis of age, 21 years, 1951. And Granny Adams leading the Barbados Day Party won. Now, the other parties was the Conservatives, led by MOTTLEY's grandfather. My brain is talking off the top of my head. The other one was the Association of Electors, led by Crawford. And those three parties contested the election. The Labour Party won 1951 election. And the vote was about the people fighting to get a right to vote. People wanted to vote. People wanted to make a difference, wanted to change the dynamics in Barbados. 1951. By the time we get in 1991, people ain't voting for that reason. People voting for what they individually want. Not to change the makeup of Barbados, the structure, the benefits coming to working class people. People want to know what I can get out of it. What is in it for me individually? I continue to get worse from 91 into now. It gets worse and worse and worse. I bought short of ability to buy a bottle of brandy and access the spliff. And know the basis. So people just ask me questions, and I said, what do you think? Community football more important than community cricket? You can't get community cricket game organized because the people who play cricket, not the people who play football. People who play cricket are more commuted, building on structure and so on. People who play football about short term, they want to run boat.
Ah, okay. I see what you're saying. So it's a different type of young person.
Yes. And when they say anything to get upset me, but I don't care. I went to school, and the best footballers came at Harrison College and Lodge, and them secondary school, the bright boys. I played against some boys, Farnham and all them boys. Them boys are bright guys. School, Harrison College, Summit School, Lodge, could play football good and strong and intelligent, organized. The football don't come so now. People can say I snobbish, I don't care. And what Barbados, why people like players like Anguilla and St. Kitts and Nevis can beat Barbados in football because the people who should be playing football don't play. People who should be playing football do not play in Barbados. People can hate me, so they don't play. The people who can be disciplined, organized, creative, and don't get involved in football because they see football as a drug culture.
It has become that.
No, but that's what they see it as. I don't say it is that. I'm not saying it is that. I say that people who are educated, who are structured, disciplined, so ain't get involved in football because they see football as relating to culture that they don't want to be part of. I say that. And I say that because the evidence suggests that to me. And that's why Nevis, population of 12,000 or some shit, so St. Kitts Nevis, 30,000, could be Barbados. And the other place where they had the volcano.
You mean Montserrat?
Montserrat could beat Barbados, beat Barbados 111 football. Population about 500 people.
You're saying because it lacks that kind of structure and the yeah.
Wow. No, because any sport now is not like before. You just do it, and the people gotta be able to be disciplined. Go through a program of indoctrination and I ain't want to get into it because the World Cup football is part of my life, and I said, and I be saying that France is going to win the World Cup because France is.
You're gonna be there. You're gonna be there with us on Sunday watching the football.
Yeah, I say I won't get it because I got views on the football and not the World Cup. But I
Yes.
say that Barbados' problem is that the people at the who go in school at our best schools don't play. And I put best schools in the ones who get the most marks. Inverted commas. Don't play football. Harrison College, I don't know if Harrison College play football. I don't know if Queen's
I know
College,
not
Lord.
not really big. I mean, my son went to Harrison College, and I have to put listen a little bit to agree with you. And he, though he was good, it was very good defense. And I wanted, as a Jamaican, we like sports and so on. I wanted him to continue in it, and he wouldn't. I mean, he went down and got an exhibition. He felt that it's not, you could tell that's not his crowd and it's not his thing. And so he went the academic way.
So and I say even though they play at Harrison College and Queen's College and Commermere and Alexandra and Ellerslie and so on, it's not the academic ones with good disciplines and so on that play. It's the ones who are not achieving anything that use that as an avenue to run about and to be popular. And they could curse me till they dead. I know.
But you speak your mind, and that's good.
But no, I know. So they could curse me. I know. I live in a community where I got boys in my gap who go to all the schools in Barbados. And the ones that go to Alexandria, and I say, you playing football? They shock their teeth. The bright ones who come in first and second, ain't nothing to do with football. But the ones who struggling into football because it gives them identity. But they are not disciplined enough to organize a structure, those
Yeah.
things. And when I say those things, people say me elitist. I'm not elitist. I deal with what I see in front of me.
The reality.
Yeah, I deal with it. And Motley likes these kind of environments. Listen. Motley loves.
I knew it was coming. Motley loves that environment. You're saying that with
Motley likes ignorant people.
Lord have mercy.
Marcia, Dr. Derek Alleyne is saying.
Yeah.
Motley loves ignorant people.
You're using ignorant in the sense of beige and ignorant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I say that. I don't care who I say that. Motley does not like people who smart and can challenge her. That way, you think Ralph Thorne is supposed to die in Barbados as an intellectual. Ralph Thorne is supposed to disappear from politics.
Yes.
Because he offered intellectual strength. Molly did everything that she was capable of doing to destroy him. And I don't care. The people say, man, you Ralph friend and thing. I know nothing about that. Ralph is an intelligent, intellectual man.
Yeah.
Everything Molly could do, she did to make sure that he disappeared from the politics of Barbados.
Because she couldn't measure up. Could not measure up.
No, because when he sits across the table with her, she is inferior. She's inferior. And the little nuisances she got wrong her, that she could hand them something and let rumble and cursey, and then pay people not to vote. I guess it's so too. Let's get me put me in court.
Well, there are people we can't say it, so we don't know it's an allegation. So we're
I guess it's so. I mean, the pay is not money. You don't pay people money. It's get them a job, put them in positions.
Okay. Job and positions. So you're
elevating them,
allegation.
and then it is standards above their capacity. Molly has done that. I got evidence. And tell her, I say I got evidence that she elevate and her use her office and ministries and those things to elevate people above their competence to support her.
Right. So the pay you're talking about is not money, but you're
No,
saying
I know you don't hand them a $50, but you hand them
so you're
opportunity and
saying
privilege.
opportunities are given. Okay. All right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So she will carry me 10 course. I don't care. I really don't care. MOTTLEY has destroyed Barbados society. I don't know how we're going to recover. But Marcia, let me tell you, let me thank you for being the soul you are, a fighter. Don't care what they say about you.
They want to say they want me to go back to Jamaica. I know.
They say you're a Bajan. You say
Yes.
you're about here causing trouble. They say that their Alleyne is a rum drinker or drunkard and he talking stupidness and all that.
Listen,
Marcia, it don't faze me.
neither does it.
Deal with what I say. Not what you think about me. Deal with what I say.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Deal with what I say. Question my arguments. The information I provide. Do those things. And they happy. And I'm going to go back quickly to the last phase of MOTTLEY thing, the roof to reefs.
Yes.
Roof to reefs. MOTTLEY's contribution to the reefs is to allow the cruise ships during COVID to cruise off Barbados shore and destroy the reefs.
Go into that now.
I can't remember the lady's name from the university. You said that MOTTLEY. Not MOTTLEY. She didn't say MOTTLEY. I say MOTTLEY. Give the cruise ships permission to berth outside Bridgetown Port. And they destroy the reefs, the coral reefs in Barbados. And the university that said this lady, I don't remember her name, said that the damage is irreparable.
Wow.
Irreparable. And nobody has made MOTTLEY accountable for it. Don't forget, MOTTLEY allowed the cruise ship that was supposed to leave here with COVID because they didn't do any business. And she allowed them to float around Barbados. And they damaged the reefs, the coral reefs. And MOTTLEY felt by giving them permission that the first opportunity they're going to repair Barbados. That I get a permission to float, but you had to sail back out or whatever. Barbados gonna get benefit. We ain't getting nothing. They said it damaged reefs. So MOTTLEY reef to roof or roof to reefs program was not benefited Barbadians. The storm issue with the 35% degree thing. We still got 90% of Barbados roofs. No, sorry. 90% of the identified roofs still unaddressed.
Right.
Because we really got any money to deal with it. A roof is between $20,000 and $30,000 depending on the size of the house. But you can't put a roof on a structure that weak. So you gotta look at infrastructure, the base, the foundation, the sidings, all them things before you deal with it. The other thing, the tenantry program, MOTTLEY did nothing to address the tenantry program. Over the last
I think she promised it, but she didn't even attempt it. Is that she found out that one was too hard?
Yes. No, because I mean, if you're gonna allocate money. If you say you take 100 houses that you're gonna deal with, and you decide each roof is $30,000, right? And you say, well, I can allocate $300,000 or whatever. When you work out that's money for the roof, but you gotta do the infrastructure. And the other thing, if it's a rented house, if the house is rented, how you do address the issue of the roof? You gotta get permission from the man that own the house to do it.
Right.
Then my MOTTLEY understand that them things gotta be sorted. So the idiot man was saying she can change all the roofs in Barbados a 30% degree of about ignorance before identifying what has to be done. And intelligent people told Molly, Miss Molly, you have to graduate. We're saying she never made an effort to.
Right.
So you could be telling landlords that the government will assist you in helping you to change the roof on your rental unit. Make arrangement that nothing so. So the program disappeared. The tenantry program, Motley was to put money into it to get all the tenantry urban barbers transferred. It never happened. The issue to getting the unoccupied houses connected to family sorted out. You got to do an analysis, and I'm telling you, at Urban, we knew what the issues were. I was director, we knew what the issues were. It was not straightforward issue. You could go in and do it. There were several properties that had issues that were not about neglect. You got children, you got you can't identify who the property owner was because successive fathers, mothers, grandparents died.
Right.
You know what
How
I'm saying?
is she going to solve that problem? She said they're going to cut
No,
through all of it.
she can find a father and a grandfather. She can find them. She can make them. Then you got something with 6 children, some out of wedlock, all kind of thing, and the fighting for letters of administration. Letters of administration cost a wash of money. So the families can't afford it, get letters of administration. Then you got tenantries in tenantries where I own I live in a house. I live in a house, I in the tenantry. My father was the body who was the tenant. The house is supposed to be the land is supposed to be transferred. My father died and left the house on the property, but he left no arrangement who the land supposed to go to. And the landlord said, "Well, I deal with you, so you don't
Right.
have any right. You don't have any right to the land." Every issue different and several, and we went through that. And Miss Molly, weird. No, she going to a ceremony because she wanted to take agricultural land and change it, and she bring in a forfeit to let people shift the discussion from the ignorance she doing with the land to talk about what we talking about now.
Right.
Ignorance is a diversion.
A diversion. Right. Right. But let me and this cruise ship situation here, I have to look into it. I didn't even pay attention. How many of you out there realize that the reefs were now destroyed because of the cruise ships that were allowed to this is crazy.
So when I hear the roofs, I remind Barbados that the government allowed the cruise ships to cruise, but we have Marcia the reefs. And the ladies from the university said, I don't have her name because I didn't come on to talk about it, to get me information, said that the reefs would never be repaired. Never be repaired.
Never be repaired.
And she walking about Molly, walking about Barbados. We were talking about climate change and about ignorance. That's rhetoric for Dumpsy head.
Mm. I tell you, but as we're closing here, I want to ask this question, although I know you probably have some more that you want to talk about, which you might have to do next week because we have 6 minutes. But I want to ask you, did you see? I mean, this has gone to the world. And the latest big announcement from Mayor Martley, it's so embarrassing, about these trillions of dollars that for reparations that is owed to Barbados. It just sounds like the 10,000 houses. It sounds, as you're talking, it sounds to me where she wants to change all of the roofs to make them resilient to hurricane, or eradicate all pit toilets, all the unoccupied house, dilapidated houses. She's going to take care of all the red tape, transfer of tenantry. She's going to put $10 million, none of which has ever been done. And here it is now, we're on the world stage. And she's talking about, we are owed this trillions of dollars, and feeling like, she's going to make this happen. We're going to get this trillions of dollars.
Now,
Reparations.
Marcia, I have kept my mouth closed on the reparations issue because I'm not part of Dr. Beckles, me and MOTTLEY, and that commission and them reparations issue. I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that. I don't get involved in that rhetoric because it's going to go on for the next 100 years. They can dead and go along.
I'm telling you.
It's not going to be settled, and I'm not onto that.
And they would travel out the money, travel. We paid them to go here, we pay here, and they go there, and we're just talking.
Marcia, let me ask you a very simple question to you and your audience. Slavery took away from Africa young men and women who, if they had not been taken from Africa, would have built up an African economy. Who should get reparations? If you ask them, so you mean Africa, West Africa, Ghana, them should get reparations?
Exactly. Where does it end, really?
So what I'm saying is that whenever we done, there is going to be a major discussion about who is entitled to reparations. And my position is, let's start there. All this thing about their reparations due and MOTTLEY and they're running about the place talking foolishness. Let's start about what are the reparations supposed to represent. If it is to represent the loss of capacity, is not Ghana and the whole of West Africa also entitled to reparations? You took the cream of their children, their grandchildren, the generations to come, and brought them here as slaves. So don't let me fight it. So that's why I do not get involved with it, because I see it as an argument that in my lifetime and the next 3 lifetimes, my great-grandchildren, that we are not going to resolve. So I don't put my brain out to it, and I'm fighting something that I can't help resolve.
I was just bringing it up because it sounds she's now found a gravy train.
I'm not getting in that. I am telling you, I don't think it is something that we are going to win. And I don't think that whenever all the efforts are collated and added and we fight for it, that we are going to win it. Because I'm even dealing with how do we determine who gets what. I'm asking who is entitled to reparations. Are really the slave children and the colonies who suffered from the slavery more desirous of reparations, or the people from which the slaves were taken more?
Yeah, I'm sorry to take you off tangent, but I only brought it up because it sounds to me like a pie in the sky kind of a thing again, just like these ideas that you shared here. Which I think is so brilliant. And what I love is the way you undress her. And I use that term. And this is what Mr. Thorne used to do. He used to show her up. And she realized, and she's not that brilliant. And that's why she never would like to go to Parliament, because she
listen, she hates, MOTTLEY hates Ralph Thorne. Like I hate Saint P.
Yeah.
I hear Saint P name coming looking for Saint Killy. I saying the B, I won't kill it. She hears MOTTLEY hits Ralph Thorne like that. She hear Ralph Thorne name, he want killing. That's MOTTLEY's interpretation, MOTTLEY.
I mean, we're saying that proverbially, not that she's trying to physically.
No, he's saying like how you hear the sound. You want to hear his name sound, the B.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And that's because she knows that intellectually she is not even half as in
No,
level.
no,
She
it's
just
not.
knows it. Motley knows that even in her party, there's so many of them intellectually stronger than her. But holding the office and controlling who gets what makes her strong.
Yes.
When she was not prime minister, she was a crying little baby, crying for everything that people oppose her for. She gets the office of prime minister, and she becomes the biggest bully God has ever prepared. And I'm not saying he did it deliberately. As master of all creation, he created Motley, unfortunately.
Well, it's what she's become. What she
Yes.
has
He
become.
didn't
What
create her to be that. He didn't create her to
no,
be
you
that.
don't create her to be that. And because you see, sometimes when you talk this straight, people have problems with it, but you've got to tell the truth. And
Yeah.
that's why she cannot deal with people like yourself,
Yeah.
Rob Thorne, and when Caswell used to speak out about these things. I mean, she used to cringe, I'm sure, when Caswell used to speak out, because you guys know too much.
Yeah.
The former prime minister, he knows too much. And people, you have too much knowledge, right?
Mm.
And you're not afraid of your strong men that will tell her what time of day it is, and
Yeah.
that's she's afraid of.
Mm.
That she's afraid of, and that's where the problem is. Well, we are at 10 o'clock, believe it or not, and I just want to
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us again another night. I took so much notes. You have me here going to go and research and all this. I tell you, I'm gonna be delving in to these things right here. Now I want to go look at about that the cruise ship. I didn't know about that, and the reefs. I'm gonna look into that. The
Mm.
transfer of tenantry, that was brand new to me. I'm gonna look closer into those things. But thank you so much, Dr. Alleyne, for joining us tonight. Your contribution is just so important at this juncture in Barbados, at this time in Barbados. Thank you so much. What's your final word before we
Yeah.
close?
Thank you for having me. And let me tell you, as long as I in Barbados, and I don't like to do it when I'm overseas because I mean people's houses, and I don't like to use people's houses as a background for making my presentations. As long as I'm in Barbados, Marcia, I'm going to be on your program. Your program provides insights that Barbadians do not have opportunity to hear. Our local media have been compromised. The ads to the newspapers and ads to the other stations and so on make them survive. And if you do not, my belief is, let me say that, because they can't lock me up for my belief. My belief is that if you don't do that, you won't get the ads. That's my view. Uh, and therefore, to get your ads, you're
Yeah,
gonna learn that they're not going to bring you in contravention with the views of the people who are paying for the ads.
exactly. The ads.
Um, well,
And I want the people to realize that. And that's why, I've been offered ads on here, Dr. Alleyne, and I have not taken it.
no, no.
I have not taken it, because once you start to do that, and that money, that those ads mean money, and if they don't like what you're saying, then
Mhm.
you have to stop. You have to
You lose
shut.
the ads, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You can't say you can't write it down, but you understand. You understand
hmm,
that the core paid core, and you have to understand that how you live in an environment where the piper calls it you,
yes, yes. Well,
and
thank you so much, sir. Thank you very, very much, and continue to take care. Be careful out there in this
I ain't
couple of.
frightened. No, I ain't frightened. Trust me,
Yeah,
I ain't frightened.
that's right. That's
At
right.
73, at 73, ready to go. No problem. Thanks for having me there.
Yes,
Thanks.
God bless you. And your brain is still intact. As they say, black don't crack. You're doing well. God
All
bless
right.
you. Yes,
Thank you. All right.
yes. Bye. Yeah. Dr. Derek Alleyne, I am telling you, this is a real godsend for us. a godsend. We need to be able to understand who it is that we have there leading this country, the kind of person that she is, making these big promises. And Dr. Alleyne was able, even in the midst of all the humor, to outline it to us, clear as day, in Beijing, that we can understand it. I thought that this was a true eye-opener as to who we have running this country. You need to understand that. And don't put people on any pedestal and we should not be believing their PR of themselves. We need to open our eyes and see what we see, look and see what we see. And don't think that you're fooling, that, oh, I'm not sure what I see. No, accept what you've seen. Accept it. See, but we don't want to do that. Accept what you see. Yeah, crystal clear, correct. All right, guys, so God bless you. And keep praying about the hospital. And we're going to see you on Wednesday. We might have a special treat for you on Wednesday. I'm not going to say it just yet, but we might have a special treat for you on Wednesday. God bless you and have a good night. And I think Dave is ready with, oh yeah, this is the song for the night. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Well, the preacher tell me, teacher tell me, everybody used to tell me that anytime you want a song impressive. And my mother tell me, father tell me, even my grandmother tell me, you got to learn to be expressive. Anytime you want to show your potential, proper English and nation language is essential. Check out to the land, and you could search all over. Nobody could talk like me. And when you come and ask she of crime in this country, she say we need stronger communities. And when you come and ask she of carry community, she say you're going Guyana with Sheffer ID. Scam not get vexed, scam not start a ball. Them kidnap a man, they could do that to Winston Hall. Just like Ninja Man, me said they had to have a warrant in hand, but it was no kidnapping at all. And you gotta talk like me, speak like me, show the world you coulda do it like she. Talk like me, speak like me, show the world you coulda do it like she. And you gotta show them how you could run a country. I heard Tom Adams, Reefs and John, Radford and David Thompson talking politics back in the day. I remember Billy, remember Sleepy, Eric Seeley and Don Blackman calling big words got people amazed. I remember Tudor with his Oxford accent, Dean Harry Pitlow on the radio so eloquent. But that was the past, but now today and future, the queen of speeches is now Mia. And when you come and ask she about prices, about here kiddingly, she say she got to give me compensation. And when you come and tell she we need sporting facilities, she say we soon gonna get a new stadium. And they say she is the savior of Barbados. Mia does perform miracles just like Jesus, cause she got the head and she got the ability, cause she raised from the dead. Chris and Lashley, talk like Mia, speak like Mia, show the world you coulda do it like she. Talk like Mia, speak like Mia, I don't feel that she and Camlet agree, but Mia can show them how you could run a country. People balling, people crawling, complaining that me are borrowing millions from agencies right and left. People grumbling, some mumbling, some even finger pointing. Look, she gone back to the IMF. And they complaining again and again. How every minute, look at me up in a plane. But she fight to UN and put down a speech on world stage. And had Netanyahu and Trump in a race. And when them come and ask she but the state of the economy, she said billions in oil found offshore. And when them come and ask she but the opposition party, she said no more rocks crossing the floor. And against that they had it winning St. Lucie. And me a pull another miracle in this country. Cause she went by corner around election time, and she turned brown water into wine. Man, you gotta talk like me, speak like me, show the world you couldn't do it like she. Talk like me, speak like me, a man who was a die-hard DLP. Tell me you love with she from the age of 30.